Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
James, it's a lovely leather jerky and it's very nice. Yeah. I've got to do a radio show now.
You were wearing,
God's
you were wearing my clothes. Now give them back. Thank you. You can't look, mate.
Can I start the show, please?
I love you, but you can't keep taking my clothes and putting them on.
Okay, James. Thanks thank you, James. Thank you very much. People think this is like a hammy kind of setup. It's not. The fella won't leave me alone. Actually, won't leave me alone. 0344449. I enjoyed that chat with Yvette Fielding, so much so that I showed Catherine the Most Haunted with Girls Aloud on. Oh, if you've not got time to watch the whole thing, it's about an hour and a half. There's like a 10-minute best of Girls Aloud on Most Haunted. It is the funniest. It's very sweary. It's not safe for work. I'll tell you that. It's not safe for work. But it's very, very funny. I mean, it is absolutely hilarious. Good evening, dear listener. It's Thursday. It's the day before nuclear war destroys all of us, huh? Imagine that. It's Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You know the structure of the show. It's a show about anything. You can call in about anything. And interestingly as well, I should say, you can call in about stuff that we were talking about yesterday or stuff that we were talking about last week, or maybe you've listened to a podcast from April of last year and you can call in about stuff, you know, that we were talking about then. It's a show where everything kind of melds and merges and flows over. And we're going to start the show with something that we were talking about towards the end of yesterday's show. Now, I haven't got yesterday's Sun, but there was a story in yesterday's Sun about sperm donation. Do you remember we were talking about that? And about how there are some Facebook sites where, because if you want to get, you know, sperm donation, you have to pay a lot of money. I don't quite know the exact figures, but I think it can run into the thousands of pounds to get it done. So there are various Facebook sites, it would appear, where if you're a woman that wants sperm, you can post on there. And if you're a gentleman that wants to donate sperm, you post on there and you kind of find a match. Most of it, I believe, is artificial insemination, but there might be one or two people who... we read out a list. Do you remember? We read out a list yesterday of people that had been flagged as being slightly inappropriate. Well, it got me and Kath absolutely fascinated. Didn't know anything about this. Didn't know this was going on. Didn't know this was a thing at all. And we found one of these Facebook pages yesterday, and Kath joined up to it and has been exchanging various messages with various. Well, there was a couple of gentlemen that were exchanging messages. One guy, where was one guy from that couldn't travel? There was one guy from the Midlands or something. He said, I can't travel. I asked if he could send it in a jiffy, but we don't know the answer to that. But, just as we were about to come on air, Catherine said, I think I have a young lady that would be willing to talk about it. And I think that young lady is on the phone now. KJ.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Well, you don't sound weird. Do you know what? Because that was my first thing. I thought, they're all going to be strange weirdos.
I won't go that far.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll reassess you by the end of this phone conversation. Did you see the story in the Sun yesterday?
Do you know what? I didn't, and it's only from Catherine's post on the sperm donor group that I've spotted it, and had a little look since then.
Yeah. What did you make of it?
Do you know what? It made me cringe. It really did. And it's quite saddening, really, because this has been something that's been a big decision for me.
Yeah.
And it's took a lot of thought process. And it made it sort of degraded it for me. And I thought, that's really sad if that's all the only side of the point of view that people are getting, which is when Catherine sort of said, would anybody like to put their point across? I was like, yeah, definitely. Well, good. It's not how it was.
Well, good, because then I'm going to ask you some personal questions, KJ. And if there's anything I ask you don't want to answer, you just tell me to jog on and we'll be fine, okay?
No worries.
Why? I guess the first question is why? Why do you want to go down this route?
Okay. Well, first thing is I'm gay. Is the big thing. So regardless of what situation I find myself in, I've got to use a donor of some sort.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a mum from about the age of 22. I'm 30 now. And when I came out as gay, my mum cried. And to be honest, she cried because she thought she wasn't going to be a grandparent. Right. And I said, that's not changed. I still want to be a mum. And that has been the case all the way along. And I've been in and out of a few relationships and sort of got to a point where I thought, you get a few years in and it's a bit early, and I thought, I need to do this because I'm 30 now and time's not on my side.
Yeah, you start doing maths, don't you? But maths about, well, if I start a new relationship now, then, we'd have to wait a couple of years, so, and you say you're 30 now?
I am.
Okay. Well, that's, man, to be 30 again, blimey.
I'm still young enough, but there's this, without going into too much detail, there's fertility problems in my family.
Right,
my parents 8 years to have me, so there's a chance it'll take me a fair while.
And what are the problems with going down the, in inverted commas, the normal, route of going to I don't know how you do it. Go to a sperm bank and you register and do all of that stuff. Why is that not appropriate for you?
Honest answer is financially.
Right.
Not last September, the year before, I did pay through a sperm bank. And to put it into perspective for you, for 1.4 mil of sperm, I paid £550.
Struth!
Yeah. And it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I, don't get me wrong, I was saying to Catherine, I'm in a decent enough job to do that, but I'd rather save the money and spend it on the child when it comes.
Yeah.
Than...
Yeah, of course.
Spend it on that. And I saw this website, this Facebook group, and I joined it. Spoke to a number of gentlemen, as Catherine knows, with experience. And I think you've got to use your intelligence a little bit at times and work out the genuine people versus the people that are on there for a bit of a laugh and a joke.
Well, there seem to be some that are on there to take the mick. There also seem to be some that are on there to get their rocks off.
Yeah, and there's a few on there that will only use natural insemination, and some women, that is all they want as well, and it's personal preference. Personally, I'd use artificial insemination.
Yeah.
Gay, that's the only option for me. And my donor that I've found is incredible, and he's very supportive. He's a gentleman in the truest form, who just wants to help women. His story, and I'm sure he won't mind me sharing it with you, is he met a lesbian couple on holiday many years ago. One of them was pregnant, and they explained the journey they'd been through and how much it had cost them.
Yeah.
And it suddenly dawned on him that this was something he could help people with. And since then, he's been helping donate to sort of gay people.
Do you know how many children he's fathered?
He's had 15 positive.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
Because, do you not think, and I say this because I had a dad that played around a lot, and we found out quite late in life that I had loads of brothers and sisters everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say it screwed me up, but it confused me and upset me for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Are you worried that when your child gets to an age and they find out what happened and they realise that they've got, a dozen or so brothers and sisters around, that might be painful for them?
Do you know, my honest answer to that is, from the point of being able to communicate with my child, I'm going to tell them the truth.
Right.
So that it's not a shock later on in life, that actually, my story's going to be is that, Mummy really wanted to be a mum and have you in her life.
Yeah.
As an amazing person who was helping other ladies become mummies, just offered to help me, and that's how I had you. And so it'll be something that will be fairly known throughout their whole life. I found my half-brother later on in life, and yeah, it does come as a shock. But it wasn't as much of a shock because I'd already always known I'd got this half-brother somewhere. So that's my plan. The other thing with my donor, there are a few donors that I would class as irresponsible donors who've got like over 200 children.
Flipping heck, KJ!
Yeah, and if you think about it, the problem there is if these children don't know they're related, there could be incest later down the line.
This was a thing I was going to ask. The worry about if, they meet up and they fall in love and,
Exactly.
who knows what's going to happen.
I mean, my donor won't donate in the same area. Once he's donated in one area, that's that area.
He's doing it on a county-by-county basis.
He is. I have this image in my head that he's got a map at home that he just crosses off an area. Whether that's
brilliant.
True.
And how long were you on the site before you found him? And how many, chances did you have to say no to?
I've said, I was explaining to Catherine, I was in a relationship, so I'd made this decision to try for a baby, met a female, and sort of said, this is my plan, I'm going to be trying for a baby next year, I understand if you run in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And she fully supported me, so we got engaged last April. Come the May, we started trying for a baby with a donor, not the donor I'm using at the moment. I fell pregnant after 3 attempts, but unfortunately miscarried.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
And my partner left me. It was all too much for her.
Oh man, alive.
So, but in this period of time, I found my new donor.
Yeah.
So I was just saying to Catherine, I'm in my what we call our 2-week wait at the moment. I had my donations at the weekend just gone. So this is only my 3rd attempt with him.
Wow.
But I've been very lucky. The reason I'm not using the old donor is his wife actually fell pregnant, and he didn't feel it was fair to keep donating whilst she was pregnant.
Okay.
I completely understood.
Does money exchange hands? Is he doing it out of the kindness of his heart? Is there a reimbursement?
He is doing it out of the kindness of his heart. I pay for his fuel, so he's not out of pocket.
Fuel. Yes, okay. Yeah. So,
yeah,
we're all making our own jokes here. Come on, guys, calm down.
And also, this last lot of donations, he did the Thursday evening, Friday morning, Friday evening and Saturday morning, so I put him up in a hotel for 2 nights locally.
And is he tested for, diseases and things? He has like a certificate or something?
Yes, and that's the one thing you sort of demand to see before anything. And also sperm count, because obviously that can make a huge difference.
Right. Did you not think it was... I'm so naive, KJ, and when I read this in the Sun, and of course it's in the newspaper, and of course it's in the Sun, so they're going to go for kind of the freakiest characters that they can find in that world. That's the nature of newspapers. But I didn't know that any of this existed on Facebook. Were you surprised when you found it?
Very, absolutely. Like I said, I'd paid previously, and then I had some fertility tests and found out that I have got a blocked fallopian tube. At which point I thought, well, every other go I'm going to be doing, I'm never going to catch.
Yeah.
I need to find a more financially better, for lack of better wording, way of doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, it was my ex, who was my partner at the time, who found the Facebook group. And I was a bit dubious at first because I thought it's Facebook, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Root of all evil at times, and to put but you know, it's all about spending that time and getting to know your donor before you even exchange anything. And my donor's got a full profile on himself, his past medical history, his family history, his roots, you know, his education, everything you could possibly sort of think of. The information's there, and vice versa. He asked us a lot of questions. And sort of vetted us, for want of a better word. And I'm glad he did. He was the first person that had. You know, don't get me wrong, when we first posted that we'd lost our previous donor, I had people offering to come round that night, and I thought, I don't know who you are.
Jeez,
You're not coming to my house. So, yeah, again, it's about using a bit of common sense.
Yeah. Because I mean, in the paper yesterday, and some of the gentlemen that have contacted Catherine, you do... they're just looking for sex. Some of them, aren't they? That's the thing.
Yeah, and it is.
And it's exploiting. You know, vulnerable, perhaps the wrong word, but it is exploiting people who are looking for something.
Yeah, somebody who's desperate for a baby can potentially put themselves in a situation that's not the safest for them. You know, if you're desperate for something, you do, don't you? Or you can.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's the scary thing about it is it can be taken advantage of. And I would will any girl that joins the website, and gentlemen on the other side of things, just to get to know each other first.
Yeah.
This is a big step, you know. Ultimately, it's DNA that's being swapped. And you've got to really think carefully about that before you make those sort of decisions.
KJ, I wish you the very best of luck with it.
Thank you.
You've got Catherine's details, so, you know, you don't have to, of course, but if, you know, it all goes to plan, would you let us know?
Yeah, of course I will.
Wicked.
I mean,
nice
I'm going to keep trying. I'm not, you know, this is, like I said, my third time with my donor.
Yeah.
It will happen. It's just when.
I wish you the very best of luck. Thanks for coming on.
No, nice to speak to you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. There we go. You see? Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how you can read a story in the paper and you build up this image? And we had a little giggle at the story yesterday. Of course we did, because they were picking the most outrageous characters they could find. And then you talk to someone like KJ. Thank you, Catherine, for finding her. That was brilliant. And we'll keep you posted, guys. You can call in about that, of course, if you want. Or you can call in about anything else. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Nights Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome. Caddick, what did you think of KJ?
Very informative.
Yeah, what did you glean from it?
Well, we gleaned that nobody realised how hard it was for women who were lesbians to try and get sperm donors.
Alan Caddick was listening. Success! Finders, success on a plate for you.
Well, I need the listeners' advice and help tonight.
Be quiet, Caddick. Could you make sure that the aircon is doing its due, Ed? A, it makes it cooler, and B, it's something for the 360 guys to look at. You can watch us this evening on 360, just for the beginning, because I didn't charge my phone up. Periscope.tv/Iain Lee. And if you're watching on your phone, if you move your phone or your tablet around, you can look all around the studio. How's about them apples? Cads,
that's brilliant.
That is brilliant, Caddick. Do you know what, Caddick?
What's that, Ian?
I feel like singing a song.
What song are you singing?
I feel like singing this song. I'm your only friend. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. There we go. Here we go. Little bit keen. Look canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you. Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells. So the room must listen to me, filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T. My story's infinite, like the Longines Symphony. It doesn't rest. Blue Canary in the outlet by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. Keyboard solo. Friend, I'm not your only friend, but I'm a little glowing friend. But really, I'm not actually a friend, but I am. There's a picture opposite me of my primitive ancestry, who stood on rocky shores and kept the bitches shipwreck free. Oh, I respect that a lot. I'd be fired if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, bluebird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always near. Blue Canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. Leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. What do you call in for, Cads?
Yeah, you ought to release that as a single.
Well, you never know what's in the pipeline. What are you called in for, Cads?
I need some advice off the listeners.
Oi! Well, luckily we have a listener. What advice would you like?
Because I'm packing in the fags.
He's packing in the fags. Sweet. Why are you doing that, mate?
Well, I'm not getting any older.
What?
My dad said he wants...
You're not getting any older?
I'm not getting any younger.
Oh, for a second I thought you were Benjamin Button.
No.
Soon you'd be too young to buy smokes.
I'll be 37 in 4 weeks.
Sweet Lord.
And my dad said he doesn't want to bury me before I bury him.
No, you want to bury him first, then he can bury you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you want to know how to give up smoking?
I was smoking Mayfair.
Yes.
Well, so I was going to ask the listeners, what's the best electronic cigarette to have?
Oh, flipping it. You're really committed to giving up. Hey, there was a story in the paper yesterday. A fella was puffing away an electronic cigarette.
Yeah.
It blew up in his mouth, blasted all his teeth out, hole in his cheek. His face was all burnt to F.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Where was this?
In Birmingham.
Oh, my God. I was listening to Birmingham Mail, because I never saw it.
Yeah, it must have been. Here's the thing, Alan. Just stop smoking, mate. Don't go onto the electronic cigarettes.
Well, what do you recommend?
Well, I gave up by reading a book by Alan Carr. Not the chatty man, another man. But I imagine you're not... I would make up, Alan, you're not much of a reader.
I've got a load of autobiographies. I'm still waiting for your autobiography.
Well, I'm still waiting for a publisher to say yes. Just don't buy one of those cheap ones that you get at petrol stations. If you're going to do it, and I'm not a fan of the electronic cigarette, I think, I stopped smoking and I stopped smoking. Because if you buy electronic cigarettes, you're still imbibing nicotine, you're still paying $1 to the man. But,
so you went cold turkey?
Well, we went cold turkey, yeah. But, Alan, I know it's difficult to give up smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And how's the new medication coming along?
Well, it's only day 2. So there's probably... I won't notice a change for 3 weeks or so. But... I'm on different antidepressants, dear listener. I've still got the metazapine, but the citalopram has stopped, and I'm on venlafaxine or something, I don't know. I've been gurning a lot today. Alan, do you know what gurning is?
Isn't that what Led Dawson used to do?
Yeah, I've just been finding myself, and if you're watching on Periscope, I'm doing it now, I've just been finding myself really needing to stretch my face like this. And I've just found myself walking down the street, pulling all these ridiculous faces.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like I'm walking home from a club at 4 o'clock in the morning, coming down. It's like, but it feels really good to stretch my face like that, so I'm doing a lot of gurning.
Giving the facial exercise for the
I didn't hear what you said, Alan.
Giving some exercise for the facial muscles.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing, sir. Exactamundo, Officer Fonzarelli. Alan, keep listening. People will give you some tips, I'm sure. If not, well, tough. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, then you can. Yep, I can do that. Dana!
Hip, hip, hip!
That's it! That's the attitude! That's the attitude!
How's the cake going?
The cake?
Are you having cake?
I'm not having any cake tonight. Although, actually, we've got another birthday this Saturday, so there'll be cake then.
Oh, it's my niece's birthday Monday.
Oh, hark at you! What, you got her?
So I was going to find out if you wanted to talk to my mum. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Sorry, what?
Okay.
What?
No. Did you want to have a word with my mum?
Yes, I did. I'm glad
Do you?
Yes, I do, and I want to talk to her.
Okay, I'll put you on to mum, his mum.
About time. I'm glad this
Hello?
Hello, Dana's mum. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you doing a posh telephone voice?
Oh, no, I always speak like this.
Oh, do you? Because my mum, bless her, whenever she kind of grew up in sort of London, but whenever she's on the phone, she starts doing hello. She starts doing a very posh telephone voice.
I'm always like this.
You're posh.
Yes.
What's your name, Dana's mum?
Sue.
Hello, Sue. How you doing? You all right?
I'm very well, thank you.
Did you know that Dana has become a little bit of a celebrity?
I know.
Isn't it incredible?
Yes, it is. It's wonderful.
Who'd have thought it? She's done stand-up.
I know.
And she's been on the radio all the time, and
Yes.
there are Dana fans all over the place. It's incredible.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. She's well liked.
She is well liked indeed.
Yes.
How about you? What have you been up to today, Sue?
Well, I live in Northamptonshire.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
In a village in Road.
I'm teasing.
I used to listen to you every morning on the radio.
Oh, did you? When we were at the BBC, me and Kath?
Yes, yes, it was lovely. I do miss you.
Oh, bless you.
And the thing is, years ago, when I lived in Swanley in Kent, I used to listen to you every evening.
On LBC?
On the radio. And when you had Barry and Barry on there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sue, well, bless you, aren't you? Isn't it funny? I've been thinking a lot about the LBC show the last couple of days, just because various people have been in touch and stuff. And it always amazes me, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing at that place. Me and my friend Chris, who was producing me, we did not have a clue. And we just went in every day and going, right, what can we do to mess around today?
Yes.
And it was wonderful to know that... Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. And also, I must tell you, I met Angelos one day in Balham, in the Costa's coffee shop. And I said to him, what's your real name? So he told me. And then I said to him, well, where's your orange carrier bag?
He's, what do you mean, what's his real name? He's a real person, for goodness sake, Sue. How did you know it was him? Did you recognise him?
I recognised him, and he said he was, yes. Yes, I was there with one of my other daughters.
Yeah.
We're having a cup of coffee, and I said to him, guess who that is?
How funny, because I mean, I don't know if he gets recognised that much, because he's very, very funny. And I know Barry from Watford sent me a message today. He's very keen to come on the show soon, but he's filming, I don't know if I meant to say this. I'm going to say it, but I don't know if I meant to.
Yeah.
He's filming a television show with Noel Edmonds at the moment.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Like a big series for Channel 4.
Lovely.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. I loved him.
Yeah, very funny. Very naughty old man. I didn't like...
Yeah.
Did you ever hear his son Dave used to phone in? Did you ever hear Dave? Dave phoned in and Dave turned up at the... Dave is Barry's son, dear listener, and he turned up at the LBC studios once and smacked me in the face. It was awful. Absolutely. I'm glad you're laughing, Sue. I wasn't laughing as I got rushed to A&E.
I know, dear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, but I never missed your show when you were on LBC.
Oh.
And I never missed 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm talking about.
Flipping it. Do you know what? I'm so sad that the way that BBC show ended. But, because I loved it. I had such a good time there. But I'm so glad I don't have to wake up at 16 minutes past 4 every day.
I know. It's
torture.
disgusting for your health, isn't it?
It really is. It drives you loopy.
Yeah.
In fact, I was texting a friend of mine, Christian O'Connell, who does the breakfast show on Absolute, and he's been doing that show. God, I don't know, about 10 years. 10 years at least.
Yeah, no.
And it does drive you loopy.
Yeah, the body can't take it.
No, it can't. It's not meant. It's not meant to do that at all.
It's not good for family life either.
Oh no! Well, we ended up sleeping in separate rooms, and I'd put the kids to bed, and then I'd go to bed, and it's not particularly healthy. No, so 4 years was long enough doing that, I think.
Yeah, but because I listened to JVS.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Jonathan Van Smith.
Yeah.
But why don't you? It would be lovely if you could have done the Treasure Quest. You know, in the on a Saturday.
Do you know what they talked about me doing the Treasure Quest, and we couldn't make it work in the end. There was talk about me doing it, but we couldn't make it work.
Oh.
Well, listen, next time you listen to JVS, send him a little text saying that I say hello, and I think he's a real talent, and he's a very nice gentleman. Listen, Sue, I've got to move on. It's nice, nice to talk to you.
Is Dana?
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak to Dana.
Oh.
I don't want to speak to Dana. I wanted to speak to you. So, love you lots. Take care. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. Guess who's just followed me on Twitter? Have a guess. Guess who's just followed me on Twitter? Lily Allen. Yeah. Huh? How's about them apples? The brilliant Lily Allen. I've been wanting to ask Lily Allen, right? Because I think she's fab, right? And she's had a real rough time in the press recently. She always seems to have a rough time in the press. And I think she's brilliant. And I've been wanting to ask her on the show for ages and ages and ages. And I thought, well, she won't want to come on here. And then tonight, I was going through a list my sister sent me of guests that she thought would be good for the show. And I messaged some of them, Michael Palin and Susanna Hoffs and a guy called, an American actor called Fred Willard, who's absolutely brilliant. And I sent some emails out. And I just thought, well, I'm gonna chance my arm, and I'm gonna send Lily Allen a message. And I've just sent it. Lily, I'm gonna say it. I think you're ace. I'd love to chat to you on my show one night. She liked that tweet. She followed me. She may be sending me a private message saying, up yours, you knob. She may be. Who knows? But even if she called me a knob, what an honour it would be to be called a knob. But honestly, I think she's brilliant. And I'm desperately trying to think if I've made jokes about her on TV in the past. Because the TV career that I had, it was quite mean. A lot of the TV stuff. It was quite mean. And I'd often make jokes about people. Then this industry is very small. You end up working with those people or being in the same green room as those people. But when else she's following me, I can send her a direct message and we'll see if she'll come on, because I think she's absolutely fab. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, Eben will come to you after this.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Does anybody know anything about this Woody Harrelson movie that's taking place in London tonight? 2:00 in the morning. Woody Harrelson. This sounds absolutely brilliant. I heard about it on Radio 4, and there's a thing about it in one of the papers, right? Because, you know, like years ago, Woody Harrelson used to be a bit of a caner, and he would go out on the booze and take loads of drugs and stuff. And there's a famous story about him going nuts in London and getting drunk and coked up probably, and then he smashed a taxi up and did all this kind of stuff. Well, he's recreating that tonight in a live one-shot movie that's happening at 2:00 UK time. It's being screened in one cinema here in the Picture House Central, where I saw Limmy the other week, and are being screened like 500 cinemas across the United States. And it sounds brilliant. If I didn't have an important interview tomorrow afternoon, I'd see about getting tickets, because it's only up the road that it's being screened. I am tempted to drive home slowly and see if I can get myself in it. For taxi driver Les Dartnell, the punter who flagged him down in Piccadilly in the early hours was just another welcome fare on a slow night back in June 2002. Welcome, that is, until he started behaving weirdly and demanding to be let out of the cab barely minutes into the journey. I said, "That's fine, mate, but we're in the middle of a road with 4 lanes of traffic, so let me pull over first." I didn't have a clue then who this bloke was, but I was happy for him to get out because he was acting very strangely. Flippin' heck! Willie Nelson's in it! Willie Nelson's in London now! And Owen Wilson! What happened next is the subject of a film, Lost in London, starring Hollywood A-listers Woody Harrelson, Owen Wilson and the country singer Willie Nelson. To be shot on the streets of the capital from 2 a.m. tomorrow, and streamed live to more than 500 cinemas in the US. Willie Nelson's in the country! Willie Nelson is probably 3 miles away from me right now! Flippin' heck! Love Willie Nelson. I love Owen Wilson as well. I know a lot of people knock Owen Wilson. I think he's brilliant. He's done a lot of crappy films because he tried to commit suicide, didn't he, apparently? And that kind of made him unemployable for a while. And I've never got it. I've always thought Owen Wilson was an absolutely brilliant actor. You ever seen The Royal Tenenbaums, the Wes Anderson film? Oh, man! Owen Wilson in The Royal Tenenbaums. Oh, what a movie! What a movie! What's the Bottle Rocket? Oh, man. I'm 3 miles from Owen Wilson and 3 miles from Willie Nelson. Flippin' heck. Flippin' heck, Paul. I can't believe it. And neither can you, by the sounds of it.
No. I was just thinking to myself, it's actually really stressful being on hold.
Oh, why?
You often ask why you don't get many callers. That time, from the time you're on hold and you can hear you with your energy and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, I'd planned to say hip, hip, hip at the start of the call. That just completely went out of my mind.
Now, you've only been on hold for about 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
I know.
So imagine
the poor... longer in the past.
Yes, well, sometimes it can be 30 minutes if I'm on a roll. I'm not on a roll at the moment. But it is stressful, and I do wonder why you, and I mean you specifically, and also the callers in general, why you put yourselves through it. I'm glad you do, because otherwise it will be a completely different show. But why do you do it, Paul?
Well, it's a thrill as well, and it's nice to speak to you, nice to be a part of the Iain Lee experience.
Well, I don't know about that, but... Well, I'm glad you've called in, Paul. What have you got for us this evening?
Nothing in particular. I want to thank you for inspiring multiple moments of just ridiculous, seemingly from nowhere, laughter in public places that generally tends to embarrass me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I had one in Sainsbury's on the way home, listening to the podcast, and I can't help but guffaw.
Do you know, I was saying this to Sue, Dana's mum. No, I was saying this to Sue. We don't need the Dana's mum. Sue is a woman in her own right. I was saying this to Sue. It does amaze me that not only that people listen to this and have listened to it and listen to old stuff that I did years and years ago, but that they find it funny and they find it entertaining or they find it moving, because it's just, it's just me showing off to Kath, basically. That's what the show is. It's me showing off a little bit and, getting a bit angsty sometimes. That's all it is. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Paul, and you don't know anything about this Woody Harrelson film, do you?
Nothing at all.
No, I'm surprised I've not heard more about it. As I was driving in, I couldn't listen to LBC because Farage was on. I couldn't listen to Whale because I think it's an awful, awful show and it's like an 80s throwback. So I put Radio 4 on and listened to Front Row. And, they were talking about this film that's happening live at 2:00 in the morning. It sounds... I love stuff like that. A little bit pretentious... and the potential for it to go disastrously wrong, of course, but it sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
On that bombshell. Thanks for calling, Paul. Tatty bye. Let's go to Eben. Evening, Eben.
Evening.
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 Evening. You sound like an old 78 gramophone record tonight.
No, it's just in the middle of watching the live inauguration of Donald Trump.
What, is it happening now?
Yeah, it's happening now.
It's happening now?
Yes.
What? It's being inaugurated now?
No, it's like all the unknown bands being performing now.
Oh no, that's just the concert, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the inauguration, that's tomorrow, isn't it? I don't think he's going to swear an allegiance to the states of rock and roll. What's that? It's a song, isn't it? I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll. It's probably Kiss.
It was quite funny watching it because all the bands you have to Google them to find out who they are.
Well, there's Sam from Sam and Dave, who did Hold On, I'm Coming. Is that them? Is that Sam and Dave? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Keith. Oh, Keith, what's his name? Keith Urban, is it? Keith, the country and western singer, but he's a rubbish country and western. Toby Keith.
Yeah, Toby Keith.
And there's Three Doors Down, who I've never heard of, but because of them, all day I've had in the back of my head that Dolly Parton song.
Yeah.
3 doors down, they're laughing and singing and having a party. But it might actually be 2 doors down. Anyway, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well.
And some state music.
Some state music?
Yeah, by the...
Oh, God.
Army band.
Well, this time tomorrow, Eben, we'll all be dead, so it doesn't really matter. Does it? It doesn't really matter. Well, good for them. I'm glad that that's being streamed online. What have you got for us, Eben?
I was actually phoning in for a bit of advice.
Oh, well, this is Advice Central. We've had Caddick phoning in for advice, and we've got Eben phoning in for advice. I'm leaning towards the microphone, preparing to give you the advice that you seek, young man. What would you like to know?
It's about how can you tell what's a good university for film studies and what's not a good university, because I've been sent some prospectuses and they all say big themselves up.
Well, they're not. If you want to know which ones are crap, don't read the prospecti, because they're not going to say, by the way, this is a crap university.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can you? Gosh, it's so long since I've been in that world. Can you not go online? Is there not like a TripAdvisor for universities?
I'll check. No.
I would have thought there would have been something like that. He's Googling it now. Sounds like Pinocchio in a box.
I think I found the thing. It's called Which University?
What were you... Is your computer made out of wood?
No, it's in one of those Apple keyboards, and I've got quite a hard...
Sorry?
Do you know the
Finish
Apple
that sentence. Yes, I've got...
keyboard?
Yeah, I've got an Apple keyboard. Yeah.
And I type quite hardly.
Yeah, I know you do, mate. Flipping heck, you must get through a keyboard every 6 months like that. Here it goes again. Are you typing with a hammer?
No, just with my fingers.
Okay, well, okay. I guess, the trick is as well, is when you go and have a look at the universities.
Yeah.
That's the trick, when you go and have a good old sniff. When I went to look at my universities to do performing arts, there were only two that I really, really liked. There was the one I went to, Middlesex University, and there was one... It wasn't a university. It was like a drama school. What was it? It was it was up north. We saw Nanette Newman on the train on the way back, and we got to sign a doily. No, we didn't. We got to sign an antimacassar. It's true. It's a true story. Where was it? Bretton Hall. That was it. Bretton Hall. And they were the only two places that offered me a gig, and which was very lucky because I liked both of them. The rest, there wasn't a good vibe there, Eben. You've got to go and feel the vibe.
And I'm also thinking about apprenticeships because universities are very expensive, and I'm wondering whether in the work life experience is more valuable than a degree.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to do?
I'd like to be in the film industry, like being a DOP potentially and an editor.
Right to here's my advice. Right, go and do that at university, of course, but write to loads of film companies and TV production companies and say, "Have you got a work experience program? Can I come and make tea for you, please?"
Okay.
And try and get in that, because I mean I don't know what it is now, but when I know. I got into TV completely the dodgy route, but you just want to make yourself useful and get in and make tea and be a runner and get shouted at by has-been actors and stuff like that. That's a way to get a bit of experience on set.
Yeah, and I've got some contacts now in Swansea.
Oh.
Do you know Twin Town?
Twin Town?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's a film made of Swansea, of all the, drug addicts. And
no, that sounds good.
If you type into YouTube Twin Town...
Yeah, I'm a bit busy now.
By Kevin Allen.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying bye then. Let's go bye. Yes, okay.
And it's quite funny.
Okay, well, I'll have a little look at that.
Okay.
All right, well, don't email him and say, can I come and make tea on your next thing? I'll do it for free.
You okay, then?
And you turn up half an hour before everyone else, and you leave half an hour after everyone else has gone.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Okay, I'll do that.
Eben, I wish you the best of luck. Who knows? I'm going to end up working for these kids at some point in the future. You know that. That's why I'm nice. That's why, dear listener, I'm nice to everybody who calls in, because I'm going to end up working for these... No, I'm not nice to the old people, because I probably won't end up working for them. But the kids, because I'm going to end up working with them at some point. The Periscope has ended. I don't know why. I think it just died. I think, my camera might have run out of juice. We might do it a little bit later on. An hour down. Two more hours to go. Sweet Lord. And it's boiling in here. Is the aircon actually broken? Has this been raised? Right, can we raise it? Can we send an email? Jesus, it's been broken for a week and no one's raised it. Can we raise it? Send an email to Denny and to Lauren saying the aircon is broken. And can we please, for the love of all that is holy, get it fixed? I'm wearing a thick shirt this evening. A very thick shirt. And I'm feeling it. 0344 499... look, someone's just sent me OK, well, I'm going to I'm just retweeting something for you, Eben. I don't know if it's any good or not, because it got sent to me. And as I say, I'm a little bit busy at the moment. What's this? If Ramonas don't stop their wild hyperbole and the vilification, they will end up damaging Britain, says Stephen Glover. Who's Stephen Glover? Oh, here we go, look. When pop star Lily Allen, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Isn't it funny how it all links up? Writes an ignorant and stupid comment on Twitter. It's probably not worth getting worked up. She is not regarded as an astute social critic. Miss Allen took to social media after Theresa May's speech on Tuesday about a global Britain with the following observation: a global Britain could be good, but the world still hates us because slavery. So I don't like this attitude, right, that the Brexiteers have, where we all, and this Theresa May, we've all got to pull together now. It's happened, it's done, we all have to pull together. No, we don't. You don't have to pull together. That's not democracy. Democracy is you can be unhappy with a decision that has been taken and you can protest it. It's obvious to me that Brexit is going to completely bugger up this country. The banks are pulling out already, guys, and it's not even happened. So I'm sorry, Theresa May, and I'm sorry, everyone, the 52%. There is not a Brexit that works for me. So I won't be getting behind it and supporting it in a vain attempt to make this country great again. What a load of old pish. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You remember we were speaking to KJ earlier on? Well, I think we may have a gentleman who is a sperm donor via one of those Facebook pages, so we'll be talking to him. After the news, you're listening to Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
He has made a covenant with the night, and with the darkness he is in agreement.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Evening, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. If you can pull yourself away from the inauguration ball that is happening right now, with a bit of a long list of celebs and top-notch bands playing there. 0344 499 1000. So yesterday we found that article in The Sun about sperm donation, and it kind of fascinated us to the point where Kath and I looked at a few of these Facebook pages. And earlier on, first hour of the show, we spoke to KJ, who was looking for a sperm donation, and now I think we have a sperm donor on the line. Evening, Kev.
Evening.
Hey, Kev, how you doing? You all right?
Very good.
So you're on one of these Facebook pages, are you?
I am, yeah.
Can I ask why? Why do you want to do this?
Well, because I stumbled across a group, and when I saw the amount of people that were on it and what it meant to them, that to make their life complete, and this was the only way that they could do that, I thought it was such a gift to help that I'd love to do it.
How did you as this thing to stumble across it?
Yeah, well, what it was, I saw things sort of like on the news or in the papers and this and other, and then I did look things up, and then I thought, if I could do a few things to help and make them realise their dreams, then I'd just love to do it.
And why have you chosen to volunteer your services on a Facebook page and not go via, the traditional route of going to a sperm bank?
I just thought it was just an easier way, and that I could get to know that person initially and see what, instead of a donation place where you didn't know any identity, anything about them. Yeah, they know. We sort of get to know each other for a while. We know a bit about each other, and then we can decide whether we want to go forward or not.
Did you see the article in The Sun yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Because they were doing what newspapers are paid to do, and they were kind of picking the more extreme people that go on there. And there are, and I know because my producer Catherine, who you've spoken to, she's kind of joined the group, and quite quickly she got hit upon by some gentlemen who seemed a little bit dubious. How do you, Kev, demonstrate to any women that are interested that you're not a dodgepot like some of the blokes that got in touch with Kath?
To be honest, there are quite a few that are on there that are sort of like that say I'm looking for any method.
Oh.
I always say that I stay for AI, artificial insemination.
Because there are some gentlemen that want the NI, which is natural insemination, which means they want to have sex with the person.
True. They're just looking to get the leg over, just a minority of them. But there are quite a few, a good lot, that are just good people like me that want to do the job and help the people and get on with it. We're not in it for any sort of we're not in it for money, we're not in it for taking advantage, we're just in it for making their life complete.
If I ask anything, by the way, Kev, as I said to KJ, if I ask anything that's too personal, just tell me you don't want to answer it, and we'll move on. You know, I get it. But I find this fascinating. Have you got a partner at the moment?
I haven't, no.
And how long have you been how long have you been registered with the Facebook page?
I've been registered 1 year.
And how many women? I was going to say couples, but it's not necessarily couples, is it? How many women have you helped so far?
No, I won't say women, I'll say couples.
Oh, it's okay.
I've helped two gay couples.
Yeah.
And I've helped one heterosexual couple.
Okay. And have they then gone on to be pregnant as a result of your donation?
Yeah.
Blimey.
They'll all be having children this year. One in April, one in May, and one in June.
How does that make you feel, Kev? As a man, how does that make you feel, knowing that there are going to be 3 kids that are 50% you crawling around?
It makes me feel proud that I've been able to help.
Yeah.
But most of all, their life is going to be totally much more different, and that's why I'm in it, for that reason.
What happened? Is there not? Because I've got 2 boys. I'm married and I've got 2 little boys, and you know they are my life and they are everything.
Yeah.
Are you not curious? Will you not want to see the kids?
No. What I state when I'm getting to know these people, I don't sort of get to know them and sort of over 1 week and then decide to donate to them. I have to. This is me. There are some people on there that'll be in it for their own reasons, but myself, I like to get to know that person for quite a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I always say, at the end of it, I don't want any contact, but all I'd like is the odd update and the odd picture, and nothing else. I won't. Once a child's born, there'll be no contact, but I would like an odd update and an odd picture.
What if the child chooses to contact you when they get a bit older?
If a child chooses to contact me when they're a bit older, or the parents did decide to let them know, then I'd be there for them. I'd say, I'd tell them how it was and leave it up to them.
And what's my friend James is just tweeting me a really good question about the legal position.
Right.
Would I be right in thinking that the mothers would be entitled legally to child support from you if they so chose?
There would be if they were single.
Right.
But if they're married, when I sort of help them and then they get pregnant, then there's nothing that can come back to me.
Even if they get divorced, the onus is still on.
If they get divorced and it does happen, then I have to live with that.
So hang on a minute. What happens if worst case scenario, obviously, because it does happen. If all 3 couples get divorced and then the 3 mums phone you up and say, Kev, bit of bad news. I've split up with so and so. I want some money. There's not a lot you can do, is there? How would you deal with that?
There isn't. I just have to deal with it, and I do my bit.
Yeah. Does that not worry you? Because it would, if 3 came at once, you pardon the expression.
It does, to be honest, because I've never really thought of all that happening until you said it tonight.
Have you not?
Well, I've not all the whole lot. I've just sort of said, well, all these people are probably going to get on and this and other, but I've never sort of the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Do your friends and family know about what you're up to, Kev?
No.
No. But why have you chosen not to tell them?
Well, one of my best friends knows, but my family, I've just thought that it's my thing, and I want to help these people. And I don't have to tell the world.
No, of course not. And I do get the impression, Kev, from speaking to you, that this is coming from, an altruistic. But you genuinely, it sounds like you genuinely want to help people. Are your parents?
I am, because if you saw the people that I've helped,
yeah,
I won't help anyone. I'll only help people that I think that I've got a good foundation to bring a child up, and this and other. But I won't just help anybody.
Are your parents still around?
No, my parents have passed away.
Okay, I'm sorry to. I was going to ask what.
But what would you ask if they were?
Well,
around?
I was going to ask if say, for example, your mum was still around, and she found out a few years down the line that you had, albeit by artificial insemination, but you'd fathered 3 children. I just wondered how your parents would feel about there being grandchildren that they didn't know about. But if your parents aren't around, then I guess that's a moot point.
No, I think if they were around, then I think the time that they did find out, I think they'd be just so happy, and they just embrace it. And
are you going to keep doing it, Kev? Are you going to keep staying on that Facebook page? And how many?
I'm not one of these guys that does it, and I'm here to help a certain amount of people.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to help 5-6 people,
and that'll be the limit.
And then that's the limit. But what I will do, what I have said to because I'm a genuine guy, and I'm gonna the couples that I've helped that have got positives, I'm going to say to them, I'm not going to have like teams and teams of children and this and that. I'm going to have 5 or 6. It's been a gift to help.
Yeah.
And if they then want to have a child further on to the same person, then gladly I'd help.
Oh, okay. Like so that they would have a brother or sister that was genetically the same as.
But I'm only I'm not in it to help. I don't gain anything from it. All I do is, if say like I travel to someone, they just pay for the hotel, train, this and other. I don't gain anything from it.
Yeah.
The only thing I do gain from it, it's such a gift to help, and what I see on my side, the couples, what it means to them to have a child, 'cause there's no other way of them having a child.
I find this absolutely fascinating, Kev. And of course I knew that sperm donorship took place and all of that. But it wasn't until reading the article yesterday that I knew that there was kind of, an underground scene for this, I suppose, happening on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like anything, you go by your gut feeling, and you always have to do your checks, who you're talking to, this and other. But there's obviously people that don't do that, and if they don't do that, then they have to suffer the consequences.
Kev, I really appreciate you talking to us this evening. Thank you, mate.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, Kev. Thanks a lot. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. When we come back, it looks like we might have another hopeful mum, a potential mum from the Facebook site. 0344 499 1000, Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm fascinated by all of this. I didn't know all this was going on. I guess underworld is kind of the right word. It's kind of going on. I mean, it's not behind closed doors. It's on Facebook. Anyone can find it. We found the pages, but happening outside the arena of the traditional sperm bank system. It's also modern, isn't it? Becca's on the line. Evening, Becca.
Evening.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now you were on this Facebook sperm donation page as well.
That's correct, yeah.
Why are you on there? I kind of know why you're on there, but why? I know what you want, but why did you decide to go that way?
Because what it is, I'm in a lesbian relationship. I'm married to my wife now almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And, IVF is quite costly, so we've decided to go down this route, and there's quite a lot of potential people out there willing to help. And they're all legit as well. They go through all the tests, all the screenings, and they provide proof, and it's all above board.
How do you... Because my producer, Catherine, who you spoke to, registered, I think, with it today, and she's already had several blokes, as a caller earlier put it beautifully, that are trying to get their leg over. Do you get... have you had approaches from gentlemen like that?
Yeah, you do the odd stupid one on there, but as long as you let the admin know, they will block them immediately.
Yeah.
So it's not that much of an inconvenience then. So you just let admin know, they block them, and then it's no inconvenience for the rest of us then. So
and are you not worried, Becca? Because if you were to go through a traditional sperm bank, saying that, I've got no idea how that works, but if you were to go the more traditional way, you would know that the sperm had been tested and everything was disease free, and it was how do you not worry that you're going to get someone who's got a disease?
Well, yeah, you do worry, but they get medically checked through as well, so they go through medicals, they go through their doctors, and they pay for that then as well.
Right.
See? So then we know then that if they can't, have any hereditary things or stuff like that as well, then see.
It doesn't sound like a worry, Becca.
Well, yeah, it could be for most, but you have got some genuine blokes out there that are willing to help and go through the
of course.
Process.
What, and do you... let's see. How far down this path are you? How long have you been registered with the Facebook page?
I've been with them now about 8 months, 6 to 8 months.
And how have you had any luck? Have you? I don't know how to phrase it. Have you found a successful donor? There we go. That's it.
I picked up recently, actually, but at the moment, previously it was inconvenient for myself because travelling was an issue because I hadn't passed my test, but now I have. It's not so much of an inconvenience because you've got to be willing to meet halfway as well, see?
So when you meet halfway, what do you mean meet halfway? What, you stop at a travel lodge or something?
Yeah, then you go to a hotel or something. You never take them back to your house unless you truly know them. You don't do stuff like that. And obviously, it's all above board. You let someone close to know where you're going.
Yeah. So you don't take your wife with you. You go on your own.
No, my wife comes with me.
I'm going to ask something, right? As I've been saying to everyone, Becca, if I ask something you don't want to answer, tell me to jog on, and it's absolutely fine. I won't be offended. But I've got to know. I don't want the specific mechanics of what happens, but I want to know the general. So what? You meet someone at a travel lodge, and you've met this person before, so you know that you think they're all right.
You meet up a few times.
Yeah, and then what? They go off to the toilets with a copy of Razzle or something?
No.
How does it work? Go on, explain it to me.
What happens is then you go to the travel lodge, Premier, whatever, and pay for a room.
Yeah.
They go up to the room, do their private business, and then they'll come down, and then you go up with your wife, and then you spend it there then, do you know what I mean? But then we split the cost effectively, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I could understand how that would work. And when you meet a gentleman, what kind of things are you looking for? I'm assuming. I mean, I would assume you're looking for someone who's good looking and intelligent.
No, not necessarily. You look for, basically, the first things you look for is if they're clear of all diseases or something that you don't want.
Yeah.
And then the hereditary stuff, you ask them for the papers to provide proof that they've gone through all the medical screenings and stuff.
Yeah.
You get to know them, you get to know a bit about their background, their family. So you get to know them as a person as you would if you went out on a night out and met a complete stranger.
But looks must play a part in it, because this is going to sound like I'm being flippant, I'm not. But if you meet someone that's really ugly, your child is going to have their ugly genes, aren't they?
Well, yes, I know. It depends. Personally, don't know. Like I said, yes, looks do play a big part in any situation, really. But the main things you look out for at first is what I listed previously.
Yeah. What, I don't know if you've thought this far ahead, but when they start getting a bit older, and it's not uncommon for, nowadays for a lesbian couple or a gay couple to have kids, but are you going to tell them, how you met the person that supplied the sperm?
Well, that's what you talk to with a potential donor as well, see, because you ask them if they would like permanent contact, once a year contact or no contact. And if they choose any one of those options, say for argument's sake they chose no contact, then you ask them, is it okay if the child can meet you when they reach the age of 18 and stuff like that then, say. But yeah, you have got to discuss how you would tell the child that. But it's the same principle as going through IVF or an actual sperm bank, really, innit?
Yeah, it is. I was wondering about the legal aspect of it, because legally, if you and your wife split up, you would be entitled to get in touch with the gentleman for maintenance payments, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, legally you would, but that's something you agree with the sperm donor beforehand.
But and I appreciate that I appreciate you're a woman of your word. But if your situation were to change massively, say in 10 years' time, and you and your wife leave, and for whatever reason you're skint and you're absolutely broke, and you were desperate, which does happen to some people, and heaven forfend it doesn't happen to you, but it does happen to some people. You could legally phone up Steve and say, Steve, remember me? Well, now it's time to start paying.
Yeah, you could really, because it's legally allowed to be done. Yeah. And in most of these cases, that probably could happen because of something that's happened 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
But for other women, they don't tend to bother with that side if the men's not, interested. They tend to just lean on their family, so it depends on the woman personally.
Yeah. Have you not, because I know, I don't know, they're not particularly good friends, but I became aware of a lesbian couple in my circle of friends who had a friend who they all kind of sat down one evening and discussed, that the lesbian couple wanted to have a baby, and they asked this gentleman friend if he would be willing to help, and he was willing to help. Do you not have any friends that you feel you could have this conversation with?
No, that's just it. See, their friend, it's too close to
right.
home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
You know what I mean? So it's too close to home to have a friend be a sperm donor.
Yeah.
And then in your life, on a constant basis, it could ruin their relationship with their partner if they had one.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
So, do you know what I mean? I have thought of that route, and I did have a friend that was willing to do it, but it was just too close to home, and it could have ruined a lot of relationships and friendships, and it weren't worth it.
Yeah, I get that. And have you told your friends and family about the method that you're doing by going on a Facebook group? Because for me, Becca, and this isn't a judgment at all, but whenever I hear something about a Facebook group, it just feels
not legit.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say naff, but not legit is right. Do you know what I mean? And I just wondered what your friends and family thought about it, if they knew about it.
Yeah, you've got some sites on there that are quite scammers. And yes, my family and friends do know. My mother was a bit cautious.
Yeah.
As she would, because it's a social media site. So she was a bit cautious. But when I came to her that it's all above board and it's legalised and they go down the right roads as they would a sperm bank or IVF, I think it puts her a bit more at ease, but being a mother, she's always going to be protective, isn't she?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course, she wants the best for her little girl. That's mum's job. Whereabouts are you in the process, Becca? Have you found anyone suitable?
Yeah, we've found a few that are willing to help, and we're going for one in particular at the moment.
Right.
But we're looking to start more towards March time, so just fingers crossed now. But like I said, you've got to know the ins and outs of everything before you even take that step forward.
The ins and outs being the appropriate choice of phrase. Becca, I wish you and your missus the very best of luck.
Thank you very much for your time.
Nice one, Becca. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'm learning a lot this evening that I wasn't expecting to learn. For a start, don't they all sound like delightful people? Yeah, you could all make your judgment calls and, make your own minds up about what you think about the process. But if we take everybody that we've spoken to, I think it was KJ, wasn't it, and Becca and the gentleman we spoke to, if you take them all at face value, well, they all seem very genuine. The two women we've spoken to seem very genuine in as much as they just want to have a baby and they can't afford to go the traditional, in inverted commas, route. The gentleman we spoke to, again, if we take him at face value, seems like he's doing it because he wants to help. There's just something, isn't there, about saying it's a Facebook group that makes it feel, as Becca said, not legitimate. A little bit naff, a little bit dangerous. I don't know. And again, the two women we've spoken to sound like they've got their heads completely screwed on. But you do wonder if there are some women on there who are perhaps not as clued up as those two obviously very intelligent women that we've spoken to, that are perhaps a little bit more vulnerable. And like I say, there are loads of... Like I say, there are several dodgy men on there who've got in touch with Catherine and are looking to have it away. There's a text here from someone. Ian, I'm a sperm donor on a Facebook group, and I'd like to say that not all NI, that's natural inception, which means sexual intercourse, or all method donors are in it just for a leg over. A minority of women are either neutral about the method or actually prefer NI because they think it's less medical or gives them a better chance of success. It's just, maybe what's clouding my judgment slightly is the fact that I don't have a particularly good time online. On Twitter and Facebook, I get a lot of dodgepots calling me names and shouting at me. So maybe that's clouded my impression of how Facebook and Twitter can be a force for good and a force for positive. I don't know. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Matt, stay there. Come to you in a bit. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Oh, I heard a brilliant documentary on the way home last night. Oh, it was brilliant. 1:30. It's on BBC 4 Extra. And every now and then they'll churn out a cracking documentary. And it was about Laurel and Hardy's UK tours in, I think, 1932, 1940 and 1953. I think I've got those dates right. It's something like that. Absolutely fascinating. Hindered only by the narrator going, and on the 3rd of March, 1932, Laurel and Hardy were interviewed by the BBC. That tape has since been lost. And there was quite a few of those, and by the end he's going, and yet, you've guessed it, that tape has since been lost. But, it was absolutely brilliant. They had a cab driver that drove Laurel and Hardy around in 1952 on. This old boy talking about... And there was this weird bit, and I kind of zoned out for a bit. And then there was this guy telling a story about how Stan Laurel went to some bloke's house and knocked on the door, and the guy opened it, and Stan Laurel had come to see his baby. And so the guy shouted upstairs, "Mother, Stan Laurel's at the door, he wants to see baby." And she shouted down, "Well, tell him to bugger off, baby's asleep." Fantastic. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. Matt!
Last night a DJ saved my life.
Last night
in all seriousness, though, I'm calling to say thank you.
Did I save your life last night?
Not last night, but a while ago, a few weeks back, I called in when I was, as the old saying is, in my cups.
Yes.
And I ended up on the podcast. And I listened to that podcast. And having listened to that podcast, I have given up drinking.
Hey, Matt. I don't... Now, when did you call in? Because we have quite a few boozed up callers. It has to be said.
I noticed.
Yeah. What did we talk about?
I can't remember. I mean, I was quite far gone, and I think you actually cut me off because I was not making any sense.
Okay.
And then I tried to call back and was told by Ed to do one.
This wasn't Kath. Was this the guy? Because there was one guy that got right on my nerves. Was it this guy?
No, I don't
it wasn't
think
you.
So. I think no.
There was one guy that I found really annoying because he was so obnoxiously drunk. Oh, that was Phil.
There was a guy who kept calling in over and over and over again.
Oh no, it wasn't. No, because Phil, I found quite amusing. But there was another guy. Well, it doesn't matter. Well, Matt, I'm glad. How are you doing it? Just sheer determination.
Yeah, just giving up. I mean, I listened to myself on that podcast, and Christ, it's just not the person I want to be. And so I thought I would call tonight, given that it's probably the last night of human civilization, where we might be allowed to have.
I might start drinking tomorrow, Matt. We'll see how things go. I might get back on it.
I think we all might. But no, I wanted to say that. I mean, I know it wasn't you actively intervening in my lifestyle, but I've just. That was the crunch point for me, and so I am teetotal, and I haven't had a drink for over 4 weeks. I think it's 5 weeks now.
How are you finding it?
Easy.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
Can I make one suggestion?
No, don't get complacent.
Don't get complacent.
We had that conversation.
Okay,
I've
good.
seen my GP about it.
Okay, yeah, don't get complacent, because that's the thing that has pulled many of my friends back. They get complacent about it. But you sound like you've got your head screwed on, and if you're talking to a GP and stuff, that's great.
Yeah, and it's just that, I just wanted to say you have had a minor role in potentially saving the life of somebody who would otherwise have ended up an alcoholic dribbling mess.
Nice one, Matt. Thank you for calling, Matt. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Keep again.
Keeping on.
Take care, man. Thank you very much indeed. Gosh, that was a nice call, wasn't it? Well, there you go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Has anybody seen this lip sync battle programme? Now, before... I've got to tread carefully here, right? Because I did make a vow that I was never going to slag off... Oh, look, there's the new Nintendo Switch. I was never going to slag off a TV programme again that I hadn't seen. And the reason I decided I was never going to slag off a TV programme again that I hadn't seen is because I slagged off Splash. Remember Splash? Slagged it off when I was at a local radio station because they were filming it nearby, and and we slagged it off. And then I watched it. Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved Splash. Absolutely loved it. It was wonderful. So I'm kind of... All right, well, okay, right. With that in mind, I'm not going to slag it off. Okay. But has anybody seen this lip sync battle television programme on Channel 5? Has anybody seen it? Now, I saw the trailer for it when it was Danny Dyer versus... Was it Revel Horwood? Was that who it was? And they lip sync. And the lip sync battle thing, that comes from Jimmy Fallon, doesn't it, in the States, who does it as part of his show. And I've seen clips of it. I don't get it. But it seems to be a popular thing to do, where he'll get, like, Tom Cruise on and they'll lip sync battle. Okay, that seems like... Okay, fine. It's a cute little 4-minute feature in a TV show. Fine, I can dig that. Okay. But they've made a whole programme about it. It's the sort of thing... I'm surprised I've not been asked to do it. And would I do it? Yeah, how much does it pay? That's my question now. When TV companies get in touch, how much does it pay? How much would I do lip sync battle for? $4,000? Do it for $4,000? Think? Yeah, I do it for £4,000. If you ever see me doing it, they've paid me £4,000 at least. This is from the start. It's Katie Price. Well, she's supposed to be, she's supposed to be Dolly Parton, but she looks like, Bette Lynch. Kate Price. Kate now. It's Kate, is it? Not Katie. Jordan has got back on stage, but don't worry, the microphone was definitely off. The Loose Women star became country megastar Dolly Parton as she tackled lip-sync battle. As these amazing... Oh, no, there's the jump, which I didn't get offered. As these amazing snaps show, Kate jumped at the chance to glam up and mouth along to her hit 9 to 5. Here we go. This is what... It was reading this last paragraph that made me wonder why I hadn't been approached yet. Fans will see Kate compete against Telly Toff Ben Fogle. On the show this Friday at 10 p.m. on Channel 5. If you've seen this, right, genuinely, if you've seen this, I mean, maybe, here's the thing, maybe it's brilliant. You know, maybe it's absolutely brilliant. Admittedly, the trailer I saw, it didn't look like it would appeal to me, but perhaps I was just in the wrong mood. Perhaps the trailer didn't capture the magic of the show. So if you've seen it, and I would imagine Channel 5 Friday at 10 o'clock, I'd imagine they've chucked a few quid at this. Channel 5. I'd imagine that they would have, that goes out after Big Brother does it. So they would have chucked a few quid at it, hoping that it would hold on to the Big Brother audience. If you've seen it, 0344 499 1000. Be keen to know what you think about that. Late Nights with Iain Lee. David, I'm going to come to you after this break.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm reminded. Remember last night we talked about the band, and I do think it's an awful name. Peaness. Peaness, right? And they've got a brilliant song called Same Place. And I was messaging them during the show yesterday because the song hasn't come out yet. They've sent me the song. And I listened to it before the show. It's even better than I remembered. It's absolutely brilliant. After midnight, I'll play the song, right? It's incredible. It sounds a bit 90s. It sounds a bit like Echo Belly and Sleeper and Belly, all kind of combined into one beautiful, beautiful pop song. I think it's wonderful. I struggle with the band name, but I'm an old man. But it's a cracking song. I'll play it, and then you can all tweet your love to them after midnight. Let's go to David. Evening, David.
How you going, Iain? You all right, mate?
I'm all right, David.
Don't you remember me, David from the Nut House? I called up a couple of weeks ago.
I have great trouble remembering any of the calls, but yes, you got sectioned. You got sectioned.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the chap. David from the Nut House who got sectioned. Yeah.
Are you still under arrest?
Well, I'm not under section no more. No. I'm not.
How's it going?
Well, basically, I'm. They call it voluntary at the moment.
Yeah. So you're still in there.
Well, yeah, I was. You were talking about metazapine the other night.
Yeah.
And I was on that for 2.5 years. It was 45 milligram. And as soon as I stopped taking it, I felt 100 times better. Like the weight dropped off.
It's the weight, isn't it? That's because I stopped it for 2 weeks and then I went back on it because I was going loopy. But in a week, I lost 10 pounds.
Yeah, and you get a bit more energy back.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know when they do that Channel 5 show, the autopsies. After and like they did one on Heath Ledger, Amy Winehouse.
Yes,
they did one on that Robin Williams, the comedian chap.
Oh yes,
and, he was on 45 milligrams metazapine. They didn't work for him.
Did you hang on a minute? Did you say, David, that when you came off it, you got more energy?
Yeah, I felt, a bit more.
Isn't that funny?
So lethargic, shall we say.
Isn't that funny? Because listen, I was off it for 2 weeks, and I was going to the gym like 4 times a week in those 2 weeks and loving it. And since I've gone back on it, I've been to the gym once, and I thought I was going to pass out, and I've not been since. I've not got the energy to go.
I mean, it works for some people. It doesn't work for others. Like, you know, it all affects people in different ways.
Yeah, they all do. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I've had a bit of a freak out tonight, and I went and bought 15 morphine tablets off my dealer, and I popped them all, and they're taking me to the hospital in a minute. Right?
Oh, David, where are you?
They're a slow buzz. They're slow release. They're called.
Right, hang on a minute. So where are you now?
I'm in the Nass House at the moment, Bradgate unit in Leicester.
Right, but you've told the nurses there that you've done this.
Oh yeah, they know about it. Yeah,
when did you take them?
About 7:30. But it's slow release, like. So,
why did you do that, man?
You know what it is? It's just, I don't know, I'm a very impulsive chap, like.
Yeah, I know, but...
half of me wanted to get high, half of me just wanted to end it. But all the years of me doing what I've been getting up to, I've got a pretty high tolerance, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I appreciate that, but still...
Yeah, I know, it's not cool, but
no,
I tell you what, radio shows out there where you can call up and actually chat about your business, like, you know what I mean?
I tell you what I feel, David, hearing you talk. Shall I tell you what I feel? I feel really sad, man.
Don't be sad.
No, well, it's a feeling, so I can't, I'm not my feelings, but it's just the feeling that comes talking to you. I feel sad for you, man, because you're better than this. You deserve better than this.
Well, it's just like, I don't know, I can't really explain it. I want to explain it. Like, I'm here for a reason, I suppose. You know what I mean? But it's I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
But you can't take meds for that. You got to go counselling. There ain't one for sitting in a room and talking about.
Why not? Because why not? Because that's what you're doing now.
Well, it's not what we're doing. It's basically, it's just you all lumped together. Like it works for some people, it don't work for others. It works for women mostly. Like,
what are you saying?
There's a bit of male pride inside me.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
but are you saying you would be doing it in a group, or would it be 1-to-1?
It's 1-to-1, but the 1-to-1 don't really work either. Like, you know what I mean?
Why? Well, that is what we're doing now.
I feel of course, because I'm doing it on the radio. It's got a bit more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
It's got a bit more nothing. It's the same thing. It's just talking to someone that you trust for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean,
and surely sitting
here so I can get a job. Well,
say that again, David.
Do you want to come down here and get a job down here? I'll talk to you.
Well,
you can be my counsellor.
Well, I'm not qualified to do that. There are people that are trained to do that. And there is always the danger, because I'm not qualified, I might say something that pushes someone over the edge. That's the worry. I might do, because I don't. But all I can do is speak from my own experience and share my story.
Yeah. Well, I know. With the metazapine and that, I thought I'd give you a tinkle and talk, because you were saying you lost weight and that, and exactly the same happened to me. Like,
it's funny. Since going back on it, I can't be bothered to go to the gym. I haven't got the energy to go to the gym.
But we'll get off them again, like, or lower the dose. What dose is you on, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm on 30 milligrams.
30 milligrams. Yeah, well, it tops at 45. Are you having nutty dreams? Like?
Yeah, man, the dreams are insane.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of running around in the dreams, trying to escape.
I'll tell you what, right? I don't mean to be crude or anything, but it's going to go that way.
Uh-oh.
I had my first wet dream when I first started taking metazapine.
Did you? Yeah.
I was 31 year old man.
Yeah.
Right? And I never had one as a kid. I was very disappointed, right? You know what I mean?
never had one as a kid. I was always disappointed.
Yeah, but then I started taking metazapine, and I was having this lucid dream, and I was banging Dennis Sanatan, and it was.
Come on, David. Come on now.
Seriously, like.
Listen, is your dealer's number in your phone?
No.
Where have you got your? You don't remember it, do you? I'm not saying give it to me, but do you know it off by heart?
Frankie Boyle. I love that guy. He's in one of his books. He was after some DMT. Apparently, I want to get my hands on some of that. Like,
No, you don't.
Well,
David.
Everyone talks about drugs and that.
David,
in the right environment.
David, no. But you're not. No. Some people can handle drugs. It doesn't sound like you can. Get rid of your dealer's number, man.
Well, it wasn't like my dealer. He was more of like a friend.
He's not a friend though, David. He's not a friend.
Well, I need
If you stopped, how much money did you give him tonight for those pills?
40 quid.
Right.
Which is a friend price.
Oh, it's a bargain. Hey, that's a bargain, because you're now about to go to hospital and have your stomach pumped.
Well, they're not going to pump my stomach. They're just going to...
Well, yeah, but you're now going to go and spend the night in hospital being monitored. All that for only 40 quid. It's a bargain.
Well...
If you stopped giving him 40 quid, he wouldn't phone you up and go, all right, David, do you fancy going down the pictures? He'd phone up and go, here, David, I'll tell you what.
I'm going for a game of Monopoly.
He'd go, David, you've not called me for a bit, and I tell you what, I've got some wicked speed, right? Now, normally I'd bang out a couple of wraps of this for 20 quid. You can have it for a tenner. That's what he'd do, and that's mates' rates when it comes to drugs is not a mate's thing to do, particularly when he knows where you are, mate. Any friend that knows that their friend is in hospital because of, for whatever reason, isn't going to try and sell them drugs, man.
No. I totally understand the point when you look at it like that. But, you know, I'm struggling at the moment.
I know you are,
you know what I mean?
I know you are, but that's not going to help.
It's not going to help, no. It's like relief, like, you know what I mean?
I know, it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, sometimes I ain't got relief. Like, I mean, obviously I've knocked the booze on the head and everything, like, so, and I'm working at, 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But every now and again...
Oh, steady on, that's a yellow card, David. I know it's an accident, it's a yellow... I've just got to be really strict with swearing, so if you do it again, I'm going to have to let you go, all right?
All
right, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, well, it was all a housing situation. Like, I was meant to be getting housed in, like, the flat I'm living at the moment. It's just drug-infested... fights in there all the time, and that's what sent me off my nut. That's why I ended up in it. And everything was going well, and everyone was like, "Yeah, we're going to move you. We're going to put you in a better place." Blah blah blah. And it didn't work out. And when things don't work out for me, it's just like the way my thought process is. It's like, right, well, if things are not working out, let's just go get smashed. But
I know kind of, all right, if things don't work out, you go and get smashed. What do you do if things work out really, really well?
Well,
you go and get smashed.
No, I don't.
Hang on a minute. So you're not saying if you got a new flat and a job and a beautiful girlfriend, you wouldn't celebrate by going out and scoring?
No, I wouldn't. No,
I don't believe you.
I'm a 32-year-old man now. All that stuff was in my 20s. But, every now and again, every blue moon, I don't mind the odd tickle.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. The odd tickle. David, listen, I've got to go. Look after yourself, man.
Well, you wouldn't mind me calling you in a couple more weeks?
You call me whenever you want, fella.
All right. I like talking to Ian.
I like talking to you too, David. You're a good man. You deserve better, and you'll get better, all right?
I'll do my best, mate.
Nice one, mate. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Julie!
Hi.
Hello, Julie. You've seen Lip Sync Battle?
I have.
Oh.
And I'm really pleased that you've seen it as well.
Well, I've not seen it.
Oh.
This is it. I've not seen it.
Oh.
I've only seen the trailer for it, and I thought it looked awful, but I'm really trying not to slag off a TV show or film that I haven't seen.
I can't... I've seen it, and the bits that I find, fun is the actual mouthing, the actual lip syncing. But there's just something about the programme, because it's a copy of a US programme, for me, there is just something that just does not translate to a UK audience. I mean, have a look at an episode and tell me what you think. But, where there's lots of whooping, and it's just... In the same way that, do you remember when Prince William did a mic drop moment or...
What?
The mic drop?
Yeah. It's my nickname at school. I don't know what that means.
Prince William...
Yes.
Or maybe it might have been Harry.
Oh, it was Prince Harry.
Mic drop moment.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
And to me, it's that same kind of thing where it's just kind of like, no, it just doesn't...
When things come from America to Britain, it does look naff. So is there a series of this in America, or is it just from the Jimmy Fallon chat show
No,
thing?
there is a series in America.
And what? I bet they have much bigger stars than Ben Fogle.
Yes.
And
yeah, they have international film stars. So Channing Tatum's been on there, and
right.
The big names.
I'm being told Beyonce was on it as well.
But it just seems to be done not more professionally, but it just doesn't translate for the English audience. I don't feel, and it seems very scripted and.
And they do what? They do two songs. Do they do two songs each? One like Own That Trail and one dressed up as the person they're being.
Yeah, one without props and one with props.
And who hosts it?
It's Mel B. And also Professor Green. That's all I need to say.
I don't know anything about Professor Green apart from wasn't he married to a princess or something and now they're divorced? That's all I find Professor Green. I find Professor Green absolutely fascinating because I love the name Professor Green. I think that's the coolest name you could ever have.
But it just seems very, when somebody from England is given an American script, so lots of like whooping and trying to be a bit like, it's something like a rap battle, which you expect from, Americans. And it would be like saying to, I don't know, Ed Sheeran and, I don't know, someone else, do a rap battle. And you think, no, it just doesn't quite work.
Isn't it funny?
I find it.
Oh, I'm going to have to tape it. If I can find a blank video, I'm going to tape it. I want to watch this.
Can I just say one more thing related to the last call?
Why the
And
heck
that is, I know that Dave was saying he doesn't like counsellors and things like that, and certainly not preaching, but you know how sometimes you have to try different medication to find what works for you?
Yeah.
I would say the same as counsellors from my personal experience.
Yeah.
So if somebody's been put off, then maybe try other ones.
Nice one, Julie. Thank you.
All right, cheers, Ian.
No. Saga. Hang on a minute. Is it Saga or Saggers?
They're all Saggers.
Hello? Is it
Hello?
Is it Saga or Saggers?
No, it's just singular, not plural.
Singular Saga? That doesn't feel right to me.
Well, it's a funny thing. It was when I was a kid. I didn't have any hips, so my pants used to sag down my bum.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You're a legend. Right, I'm going to come to you after the news, Saga. After the news, we're going to play the song by P. Ness, because it's brilliant. Awful name for a band. Bless you. Awful name for a band, but an amazing song. I think you're going to like this one, guys. And then we'll speak to Saga. And then we've got another hour to go. It's been a busy old show tonight, isn't it? Busy old show. If you want to give us a call, now would be the perfect time. You get to speak to Catherine. She'll take your number. She'll call you back. Beautiful. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. All right? 0344 499 1000. Very simple. Catherine will take your name, your number. She'll give you a call back. You come on after P. Ness and Saga. You dig? Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Same place, different time.
good, isn't it? That is good. That is good. And as I said, they're three young ladies. I was going to say kids, but it's patronising. Oh, they're kids. I'm an old man, because they're three kids. And when they sent it to me, Jess, I don't know if Jess is one of the band. I think Jess may be one of the band. I'm not sure. I replied, oh, God, I love this so much. I must be your target audience, a 43-year-old depressed, overweight man. Thanks. Ha! Glad you like it, says Jess. It's good, that, isn't it? Proper good. Imagine writing a song that good. Sounds a bit 90s, a bit Sleeper, a bit Belly, a bit of Echo Belly. That's all going on in there. Love it. 0344 499 1000. We've got Bill, we've got Hassan, but we've got, I promised I'd start with him, we've got Saga.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Saga!
How you doing? I don't know if I'm man enough to follow Penis.
Well, I know, I just think it's a terrible name, but who am I to judge?
Well, it's difficult choosing a band name, but I know every night you seem to come across one, don't you?
I do seem to be a great repository for, is that the right word? Probably not.
You should get a website.
I should get a website, bandnames.com. There we go. I wonder if there is a website. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Bandnames.com. Let's see.
There's bound to be, isn't there?
No, there's not! Quick, someone get it! Someone get it! How can there not be a website called bandnames.com? Jeez! Anyway, Saga, what you got for us, boss?
Well, it's weird. I feel a bit... This is the first time I've called in, and I haven't called into a radio programme for 20 years probably now.
What? Who was the last one you called into?
James Whale.
James Whale. James Whale Show on TalkSpot Radio. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on medium wave.
Well, I remember as a kid sitting in my bed with my, the flop over alarm clock radios.
Yeah.
Listening to, I think it was Alan Bezic at the time.
Oh, God, yeah. You look at you. You're old, Saga. You're old.
How old? Go on then. You're good at this. How old?
It's hard to... I can't... Do you know what? It doesn't always come to me, but I'm going to say 58.
No, 43.
Well, you got an old man's voice. You're the same age as me!
I know. It's weird, and I've nearly called in so many times, because obviously we're around about the same age, and you bring up topics that call me.
44 this year, Saga, 44!
It's a good age, that. I'm not sure what it's a good age for, but it's a good age.
Well, it means we're very soon, we'll be 50.
That's brilliant.
It's not brilliant, that's pony.
I never thought I'd make it to 30, then I never thought I'd make it to 40.
Well, you made it, but, yeah. Anyway, Saga, what you got? So you called in, 20 years later, you've called in, what's it for?
The whole boat, ship scenario I'm weighing in.
Oh, God.
I know, exciting stuff.
This was something we did ages ago, and then it was brought up again. I think it was Richard yesterday.
Yeah, it was the podcast I listened to.
Yeah, and he has had it from the Navy themselves.
The Navy know nothing.
There is no difference between a boat and a ship.
Well, yeah, I deal with the Navy a lot because I'm a shipbuilder. So,
or are you a boat builder?
Well, yeah, ship or boats. Actually, I'm a boat builder that works in a shipyard. That's confusing, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah, we build submarines. And the thing about submarines is that we always refer to them as boats.
Yes.
And the reason for that is it's the number of decks above water.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's just doing my flipping head in. Every time this comes up, it does my nut in.
Well, yeah, but you had a sense that what the Navy's saying was incorrect.
It did feel like a fob off from the Navy to say there's no difference between a boat and a ship.
Yeah, if it's got one deck above water, it's a boat.
Yes.
If it's got more than one, it's a ship. It's that easy.
And you're going definitive?
Yep. Prove me wrong.
Qualifications?
20 years in shipbuilding. Been involved with the Navy and the MOD.
Let's give him a round of applause. Oh, no, hang on. A round of applause doesn't work for some reason.
I'm imagining it in my head.
Imagine it. It sounds good. There we go. You don't get a round of applause on this show, you get a cheer. All right, Saga, well, that will stand until someone phones in and says the complete opposite, which someone will do, maybe not tonight, but maybe not this week, but at some point it'll keep on keeping on.
Let's only hope so. I mean, is there anything more exciting than ships and boats?
Is there, Saga? I don't know. I look forward to speaking to you in 20 years' time. Thank you, mate. Hassan!
Ian, good evening.
Yeah, Hassan, nearly called you Ian. I'm Ian, you're Hassan. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Nearly did the classic radio thing.
Yeah, but the wrong way round. Normally it's the callers who say their own name.
Hello, Hassan.
Hey, Ian.
I tell you what, I went into Disabled Loos this week, and I used my jacket over my hand to open the door after that call you had last week from Paul.
We did have a phone call from Paul. This ties in with the sperm donation. He went into a disabled toilet and thrashed one out, I think was his phrase.
I mean, I'm blind. I have the right to be in there, but not him thrashing one out, beating it.
Unbelievable. But as we did, someone sent me, who was it who sent me a message on Twitter, and all it was a picture of it was Tim sent me a picture of the movable handrail in the disabled toilets, and he's just the message that goes with it is so wrong. dirty.
I'll tell you what, I pulled those leads once thinking it was the light, and it was at Westfield, and it caused havoc. So,
did you set the alarm off?
Yeah, because I thought it was a light.
But hang on, if you're blind, why do you need a light?
I could see a bit of light.
Well, come on.
Trying to be normal.
Come on, guys. Unbelievable. Well, there's I do like a good disabled toilet, if I'm completely honest. There's so much more freedom in there.
Yes.
So much
a lot of freedom.
But
I've got lost in there, so I find my way out by clicking.
Do you do the back thing?
What, echolocation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really do it? Because there was this is true.
No, genuinely.
There was a documentary on Radio 4. There is a guy, this is absolutely true. There is a guy in America who's, of course, nicknamed the Batman. And he has taught himself to do the clicking with his tongue, right? And he does echolocation. He does, honestly, it's amazing. I swear on my kid's life, this is not a wind-up. Kath is pulling the face that I'm doing wind-up.
No, it's not.
And there was a documentary on Radio 4 where he taught it to a 10-year-old, I think he was Scottish, a 10-year-old Scottish lad. And it's so accurate, right? This guy's completely blind. He can sit in a room and he can click and he'll go, right, there's a microphone in front of me. To the right, there's a telephone and there's a book over there. It's amazing. Yeah. Let's try and find him, Kath. Let's try and get him on the show tomorrow. He's called the Batman, and it is the most. And of course, I'm listening to this in my car, and I'm trying it in my car. Of course, I can't hear any difference. It's all that. Can you do that, Hassan?
Yeah, I can. It's not to his level. I know who you're talking about. It's not to his level. I don't do it with the tongue. I do it with my fingers. When I'm walking to work and stuff, and I'm really disorientated, I'll do that.
But what do you get back from it? How does it work?
So it'll find, for example, if I'm in a disabled loo where it's really massive and I can't find the door, if I click, I'll hear echo off the wall, so I'll know not to go that way. Right. It's really bizarre. It's really difficult to explain.
Daniel Kish is the gentleman's name. We'll try and get him on the show either tomorrow or next week if he's up for it, because, honestly, it's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. It was mind-blowing. And to hear that you can do it to a certain extent is amazing.
Yeah, I used to do it at school, and it's something that works for me.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on it. I think he might have passed away. I don't know. I heard something like that.
But it was so accurate. He could say, right, well, there's a book to my left, and I think that's a television about 6 feet in front. It was like magic. And he taught it to this 10-year-old Scots lad.
Yeah. I've seen the documentary on TV as well.
You've what, Hassan?
Oh, all right. Sorry,
busted! You're not blind! You've seen the documentary! Busted! Busted, Hassan! I got ya!
Oh, mate. Do you know what? I've not been this nervous calling you. I've called in before.
You should be nervous.
I've called in football shows, but I've been really nervous this week.
Why this week, man? What's going on?
I think I feel, I know I've had a laugh with you, but I feel like it's the end. Genuinely, my head's gone. I just don't want to wake up for work. I can't concentrate. I feel fully clinically depressed without the tablets or counselling.
Has anything triggered it?
No, no, not really.
Oh,
and that's the strange thing. I've had it for 3 years, I reckon, and I was treated for it like 3 years ago with CBT and tablets, but I left them trying to think I was tough. But this week,
Can I just say, CBT, of course, means cognitive behavioural therapy.
Therapy, yeah.
It also means cock and ball torture. So whenever anyone says CBT, honestly, it's a thing. It's a fetish thing. So whenever anyone says CBT, I always, horribly, that's the first image that I get in my head before thinking, oh yeah, it means talking therapy. Right, I got you. What are we going to do, Hassan? What are you going to do?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, how do you deal with it? I know I've spoken to you and you've said, I've laid in bed for 4 hours not wanting to go to work. That's how I am this week. On the weekend, I just wanted to end it. I mean, God forbid, I've never said that to anyone apart from you, Ian.
Yeah. Oh, Hassan. Well.
What gives you a lift? Well, how do you get out of it?
It's slightly easier for me because I don't have a proper job, right? If I had a 9-to-5 job, I've got no idea how I'd be able to cope. I have a job where I have to, at best, I can stay in bed, until 6 o'clock in the evening and get up, drag myself in, dick around on the radio for 3 hours and go back to bed. So it's slightly different. Have you called the Samaritans?
No, I haven't. No.
And you sound you sound as though you don't want to, particularly. You don't have to. I'm going to just say things, and you take what you want, and you get rid of what you don't want.
I never have, because I never thought that. I didn't want to admit that I thought about ending it.
Yeah,
because that sounds like I'm trying to get attention.
But you've admitted it now.
Yeah.
So that is a step. That's a step you've taken. That's a small step you've taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing about the Samaritans is they're not for everybody, but I've called the Samaritans.
Have you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quite a few times. And they're really good. When it gets really, really bad, when it gets really, really bad, and I remember once I was out walking in the woods and I was getting further and further into the woods, further and further away from the road and the track and stuff. And I started to get really upset because I was I was genuinely considering the logistics of bringing a bit of rope out to this bit of woods and killing myself, genuinely considering it as a possibility. And I kept walking further and further into the woods, and I kept thinking, well, if I got this far and I did it here, I might not get found for weeks. Wouldn't that be brilliant? And I burst into tears because it was so real. I could see it. It was so real. And I felt so ashamed for having these feelings and for actually embracing these feelings. And I felt guilty about my kids and my wife and my friends and stuff. So I phoned up the Samaritans then. And what was beautiful about it was they didn't know who I was. They didn't know what I did for a living. They didn't, I could have given them any name I wanted to. And they didn't judge me. They didn't judge me, and I told them exactly what I was feeling and exactly what I was thinking. And I cried for a few minutes and couldn't speak. And like every minute or so, they'd go, "Are you ready to speak yet?" And I would burst into tears.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I just went, "I've got to go now. I don't want to talk anymore. I've got to go." And they went, "Okay, well, you can call any time. Thanks for calling." And that was it. And they didn't have my number. There was no callback. There was no text like an hour later going, "I'm just checking you're all right." There was none of that. It was a self-contained, private moment that lasted 10 minutes between me and some woman on the phone whose name I didn't even know. Beautiful. And it was like squeezing a spot. You know when you get a spot and it actually hurts? But if you just squeeze it, it just gets rid of that pressure and that pain for a little bit. And that's what the Samaritans did for me. It got rid of that pressure and that pain for a little bit.
And you won't believe it, that last 2 minutes was the most inspirational thing I've heard this year.
Oh,
because I'm going to give in to myself. No, I mean it.
Come on.
I'm not sucking up to you.
He said sucking, guys. He said sucking. Don't worry. Sometimes an S sounds like an F.
Quick, before I go, wet dreams. Someone was talking about wet dreams when I switched on.
Yeah.
My first ever wet dream was Britney Spears. Is that wrong? Am I?
No, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Listen, before you go, the number for the Samaritans, by the way, guys, is 116-123. I think it's free to call. I'm pretty sure it's free. 116-123. And also, Hassan, if it doesn't work, I mean, if it doesn't feel right, you can just put the phone down.
Yep.
You can bail out of that phone call at any moment whatsoever. It's such
Ian, I'm really going to do it. I'm really going to do it.
Do it,
Thank
man.
you.
Do it. May I also suggest you go and speak to your GP?
Yep. Thank you, Ian.
May I make one final suggestion?
Yes.
And you don't have to be as open. These are all suggestions, man. You take it on board if you want. You don't if you don't want.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't have to be as. If you follow this suggestion, you don't have to be as open with me. You can just say I'm in a bit of pain. Have you got a friend or someone that you could talk to?
Not about this kind of thing.
And you don't. Well, can you not even say, I'm just struggling with life a little bit? You don't have to say about being suicidal and all of that stuff.
Yeah. I've told a few people. Yeah.
Okay, good, because that's what works for me. Is it's a disease. Depression is a disease of isolation, right? And it's the isolation that'll kill you, man. So just by sharing a little bit, it will. You know, that silly line about a problem shared is a problem halved. Actually, there's something in it.
There's something in there. Thank you, Ian.
116123, Hassan.
Cheers, bud.
Peace and love, man. Peace and love. 0344 499 1000. We've got Janie, then we've got Bill, and then we might have you. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I don't know where the show's gone this evening. Suddenly it's 25 minutes past 12. What the hell has happened? What the hell has happened? There's loads of stuff I wanted to talk about in the papers today, but we will see. This may well be the very last show we ever do. What with the world ending tomorrow. Yeah, is it tomorrow? I mean, when does he get the... I saw online that the nuclear codes, right, to set off all the nuclear missiles in America, that there is a guy that travels with the president the whole time, and he carries a briefcase, and the codes are in the briefcase. Is that true? That can't be true. What if he gets shot? What if he gets taken out by a sniper? By a sniper working for the Chinese government, and then they steam in and get the... Or what if they do that thing that they do in most films, where, like, he gets on a train with the briefcase and he puts it down, and the fella next to him, by coincidence, has the identical briefcase, and he sits down, and then they get up and they bump and they pick up the wrong briefcase. That could happen, man. That could actually happen. Looky here, looky there. It's Janie Godley.
Hello.
Hello, my love. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. How are you?
Yeah,
I heard that you get locked in a loo, and that was bloody traumatic and stupid. I find the person that did that, I'm going to put my toe up the crack of their butt.
Well, no, and you reminded me of that, and we have since found CCTV footage that that proves that Ash from the James Wales show may have been involved in that. And you're right, I've got to mention that to the boss, because that is bang out of order.
Never mind.
No one puts baby in a toilet.
You're up. Never mind.
Never mind.
Right now, I was tuning in to the Trump concert.
How's it going? Because I've not seen any of it. I can see
the big hitters were all there, my darling. The big hitters, Toby Keith, Three Doors Down, the piano guys, Lee Greenwood, Ravi Drums, the frontmen of country, the Crankies, Fran and Anna, Susan Boyle's cousin Margaret, all there doing it big timey styly.
It sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm fascinated by this group Three Doors Down, because I've never heard of them. And Toby Keith, unfortunately, I've heard of, and he's an obnoxious idiot. But Three Doors Down, I've never heard of.
Me neither. I mean, I tuned in and I watched a bit, and I thought, see if you had to play Trump's inauguration concert.
Yeah.
It's Michael Flatley's doing something which is interesting, because that'll be the first time that Irishman's been behind an orange walk. So that'll be fun. But the whole thing is just one big giant treat.
Oh, we're all going to die tomorrow, Janie.
In Glasgow, a big pile of teeth. I'm not going to die because it's my birthday now, so it's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah, happy birthday! Of course, yes. It's your, as you said, it's the day that he becomes president is your birthday. There's a coincidence. Happy birthday!
Thank you, and I'm celebrating it by protesting and doing a speech at the Donald Dewar statue at 5:30. Just before I go on stage at Wild Cabaret, I'm in the streets doing my and I have got a new poster.
Yeah, go on.
I cannot wait. I can't show you it, and I'm not revealing it until the moment. But it's a belter, and it's going to be great. You're going to love my new poster. designed by Ashley. She had a hand in this one, and it's very sublime and beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that.
Is it better than your Trump is a C word?
Yeah, it is, because this one can actually be televised, but it's got the C word in it, but you wouldn't know to see it. You have to. So it's going to be that they'll photograph it, they'll film it, and then it's not until it's went live they go, Donald!
What the heck?
Yeah, she skipped a C word in there.
So where are you? Because if anyone's listening and they want to come along and see this, where are you going to be?
At the Donald Dewar statue at the Royal Concert Hall, just in Glasgow. Everybody knows it in Buchanan Street, the Donald Dewar statue at 5:30. That's where the Trump protest. And people are saying, I've got lots of men on Twitter and Facebook. It's all men in Scottish football tops and different various football clubs from Scotland saying, why are you protesting Trump? He's got nothing to do with Scotland. And I say back, why did you watch the World Cup? So
doesn't he owns about half of Scotland, though, doesn't he, with golf courses and things?
Yeah, he owns quite a lot of property, and how he treated, the women here who he cut our water off, and, there's so much more. There's a lot of reasons to hate Trump. Just the very fact that he cut that woman's water off is more than enough. I think that what they should do is build something really, like a Mexican restaurant right next to his golf course would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would learn it. It's going to be, at the very least, it's going to be fascinating. But my Twitter is not full of it, but loads of people retweeting, Nigel Farage and Piers Morgan. But listen, guys, if Nigel Farage and Piers Morgan are celebrating him, he's obviously a bellend. Obviously.
Absolutely. It's that thing when people say to me, people who like Nigel Farage, and even Piers Morgan once said to me, I don't like your comedy. And I said, good.
Yeah.
Because if I make you happy, I'm doing something wrong. If people like you like me, I have to change my personality. Imagine lying in bed at night knowing that you made people like Nigel Farage and Piers Morgan laugh. I would be dead sad. I'd stop speaking.
How is Piers Morgan and I've not seen it because I'm asleep, but how is Piers Morgan hosting breakfast TV with Susanna Reid? I like Susanna Reid a lot. I think she's brilliant. Yeah. But every day I open the paper and it's like Piers Morgan has slagged off a single mum on Breakfast TV, or called someone a slag on Breakfast TV, and I'm thinking, why has he got a job?
I think it's because he saw that being rude and horrible is obviously a creative outlet.
Yeah.
The man's got the personality of a dead fish. He reminds me of somebody that was in his basement for too long, and his mum's went, Piers, come on up now and meet the world. He's like, no, I want to look at pictures of mermaids while he rubs himself. That's what you make me feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's an actual true thing that happened, but because people don't base their life on facts anymore, it's feelings. That's what I feel.
Yeah, fact. We're tired of experts, Janie, and facts.
No, we don't need facts anymore. I mean, that woman who, when Donald Trump made a fool of the journalist who was disabled, one of his spokeswomen came out and she said, I don't know why you guys are working and believing everything that comes out of Donald's mouth. Why can't you believe what's in his heart? Because I think sexual assault is in his heart, and that's why I don't want to look at that.
Oh, I did. I mean, the mocking of the disabled reporter. That I've seen that picture quite a few times this week, and that's the one. Once he got away with that, it was like, all right, he's going to win. He's going to win.
My husband has said since August, the guy could come out with a clan hood, clutching a naked rubber doll.
He's just saying what we're all thinking.
And he would still get nominated. That wouldn't matter. He literally could just choke a woman live on TV and they go, yeah, she was a mouthy bitch. Anyway, what are you going to build this wall with? That's literally what he could do. And that is not Donald Trump's fault. That's holding the mirror up to society and going, you guys did this. And it's the exact same thing with Brexit. Theresa May's now just come out and said, bang, you're all done. And do you know what, Ian?
Yeah.
You're welcome in Scotland. Come up here, darling. Come up here.
I will do. My granddad was from Aberdeen, and my dad's cousin, Doogie Rugby, played for Aberdeen. I think it was Aberdeen he played for.
Good,
so
come up here.
I've got roots. I'm packing a suitcase. I've got a suitcase in the boot of the car ready to go.
But we don't lock you in toilets. We have got an NHS that isn't for sale for Tory friends. We are against benefit sanctions. We didn't vote for Brexit. We've got a government that's strong, and we have got more palm trees than we have Tories. So come on up.
Janie, it's always a pleasure. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, my darling, have a good night.
Take care, lots of love. Bye-bye, Janie Godley. If you want to follow her on Twitter, @Janie Godley. She does a podcast as well. If you go on iTunes and type in her name, I'm sure it'll pop up. 0344 499 1000. Angela, stay there. I'll come to you in a minute, and then it'll be Bill. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Bill's disappeared. Get Bill back. We'll speak to Bill in a minute. He's been waiting for a while. But let's take one more call on this. We've been talking about the story that was in The Sun yesterday. About sperm donation being done on Facebook pages, and it was Catherine and I found it quite shocking. And being a story in the Sun, of course, they went for the the more extreme characters. But we looked into it, and there are quite a few Facebook pages, and we've been really lucky this evening that several people on both sides of the fence who use that page have got in touch and have agreed to come on the radio and talk to us. And we've got one of those now. We've got Angela on the line. Evening, Angela.
Good evening there.
How are you doing? You all right?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you very much. What are you doing up at this time of night? This is very late.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Listen, Angela, I'll say, listen, I appreciate you coming on, and don't worry, we're not going to treat it like The Sun did yesterday. I just find it genuinely fascinating, and like I said to everyone else, if I ask you anything that's too personal, just tell me to jog on, and that'll be fine.
Okay.
Why are you on that Facebook page looking for a sperm donor?
I'm not looking for a sperm donor.
What are you looking for?
I originally created the group.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Pardon?
So why did you create it?
Originally, close to 4 years ago, I joined a sperm donor group out of interest because, I was, interested in sperm donation.
Yeah. What do you mean interested in it? What?
Well, me and my partner were interested in, like using a sperm donor.
Yeah.
So we joined a group, but the group was kind of like, how would I put it? Not very safe. So, there was people all over the world joining, and, it was people that were messaging us were from certain parts of the world. So I decided to create a group that, specifically tailored to the UK only.
Right, okay.
I'm based in the UK, of course, and the UK law. I'm monitored throughout the day by monitors, by admin, sorry. So I created that group close to 4 years ago, and since then, it's the biggest, largest group.
How many members has it got?
Close to 8,000 now.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Blimey. And how do you monitor it? Because I noticed that there was a file you can download. And I don't want to mention any of the names of the people, but there was a file that had a list of dodgy people. It's getting late. I'm struggling to think of words, but people that you had to kind of keep an eye out for. How do you get notified that there are some people that are a little bit dodgy?
Well, we go by recipients and donors inboxing admin.
Right.
Because we have free admin in the group. And if they have any issues with donors or recipients, they'll speak to one of the admin.
Yeah.
And, those complaining will provide screenshots of the conversations any detailed information, and then we would investigate that. If it was serious, of course, we'd block them from the group. If it was very serious, that individual was a risk to others, then we'd add them to the risk list, which we have that can be downloaded from the group.
Yeah, I saw the risk list.
So normally we give free warnings if it's just a basic, complaint, and so on, and that's how we judge our, to judge the group as being safe.
And do you get people that are just on there looking for sex?
Yeah, we do. And this happens, I'm going to be honest, we get this probably daily. We'll have maybe one or two.
Right, yeah.
Of all ages, of course, that come in and do assume that, it's a quick way of having sex, of course, and having a bit of fun. And we're usually quite easy to judge by profile. We do screen profiles before they enter the group anyway, so if we have any photos or groups that they've actually joined, we do, screen them.
Right, yeah, okay.
And then we do...
You can see what other groups they're members of.
and we don't allow them into the room. I mean, we're not a professional website where we do have that kind of settings to check things like that.
What kind of feedback do you have, Angela? Do you know how many kids you're responsible for?
Well, I'm not responsible for any of them. It's the donors.
Well, yeah, I know, but if they're meeting via your Facebook page, there's some element of guys, enough late, Angela. I can't speak properly at 20 to 1. I'm so sorry, but there is
just on a 12-hour shift, and I'm capable.
I've been hanging out with my boys all day, so I'm knackered. If they meet on your on a Facebook page that you've set up, you have some connection.
Yeah.
With it. And I wondered how many children had been born, if you knew or had an idea of how many children had been conceived as a result of your Facebook group.
Well, I'll give you an example. For example, the first year of having the group before, with maybe 1,000 members, we had around 120 positive pregnancies.
Blimey.
So it's been nearly 4 years since March.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming close to 600 now.
Flipping.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't count them. But it's all down to the hard work of the admin that, work alongside the group. So they're mainly there more than I am. So
Did you see the story in The Sun yesterday?
I did.
What did you think of it?
Well, I did think it was, it was under false pretenses that this guy was, contacted by, a journalist who was making the story.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name her name.
No.
And she met him under false pretenses, wanting his donation. They met at a certain location, and she posted that was where he wanted the donation, which it wasn't. That was where they met.
Right.
Because I've spoken to this donor, and he's very upset about how it was all perceived.
But I would imagine. And again, listen. If you've heard us talking to the other, the subscribers to the Facebook page, we've been very respectful, and I like to think we've done it, in a mature way. But I would have thought that the journalists would have been super, super cautious and would have. I would be very surprised if they would have lied in the report.
Well, she came on the group, as a recipient.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who she was, of course, and she contacted certain donors.
Yeah.
Or she made an advertisement and donors contacted her, which
that is misleading, yeah.
And she met this donor under false pretenses. He didn't know that she was a reporter, journalist, and that she was making this story. So, I feel sorry for him because...
Did he have to give permission? Because there was a picture of him. Did he have to give permission for the picture to be used?
Of course, or any personal information.
Right.
He told me that he wasn't aware that any of the conversations that he had with her was recorded.
Right.
And that his picture was being taken out in the open. I don't know what the law is behind that, having your photograph taken.
I would have thought she would have had to have cleared it.
I'm not sure.
Him.
I mean, he's still, seeking advice about this as well. So I just think it was wrong that, because, maybe he would have generally sat and had an interview with her. I just think it's wrong that, that this happens after so many years.
Yeah. I mean, if I would have thought that if she was printing direct quotes from him, then he probably would have said it. But neither of the sides are here, so let's not dwell on that any longer. How did it go for you, Angela? Did you find a donor in the end?
This is what everyone asks me.
Go on.
It's just something I don't want to share. It's very private.
No, that's fair enough.
My partner.
That's fair enough.
But it's something I originally sought out.
Yeah.
And it's something that, I don't really want to share.
Angela, you don't have to share it. You've shared. No, listen. Listen, it's absolutely fine. It's your life. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
It's all right. And thank you for the great, conversations that you've had with fellow members.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, it's been great.
Well, we'll probably put it out as a podcast as well, because I find it absolutely fascinating, Angela. It's something I didn't know existed, something I didn't know went on Facebook, and we've spoken to some really interesting people. So thank you very much indeed.
And thank you to you and Catherine also.
Nice one. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. What a nice lady. Yeah, we'll put that out as a podcast. Bonus pod. What a nice lady. Last 15 minutes of the show. 0344 499 1000. Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
What's wrong with Carl? Carl, why the hell can't we get through to you, Muppet? Carl, phone in again. Don't worry, it's not that, Carl. Otherwise, we wouldn't be that bothered. Carl, phone in again. So there's they haven't got Michael Nesmith's mother invented Tipp-Ex. They haven't got that. There's a thing on page 10 of the Mirror. It used to be page 8 they put these on. If there was a slow news day, they'd compile a list of things. When the one they've got on page 10, is this real? The one they've got on page 10 is celebrities whose relatives invent... Kath, come on, join me. Celebrities whose relatives invented famous things, right? And I would have thought the obvious one would have been Mike Nesmith's mother invented Tipp-Ex. And the joke I tell on Twitter quite often, that people don't seem to get as a joke and believe, is that Mickey Dolenz mum invented the delete key on computers.
Oh.
They don't get that. So, Game of Thrones hunk Kit Harington, his ancestor, John Harrington, created the first flushing loo in the 1500s for Queen Elizabeth I. That's why it's called the John.
Is that right?
Yes, because of I don't know who Kit Harington is. He's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's the beardy one. He's Jon Snow.
Right. Oh, Jon Snow. Right. Okay. I wonder why it said Jon Snow's ancestor invented the loo.
Yeah.
I thought it went the Jon Snow. Right. Okay. So I'm going to tell you someone famous. You've got to tell me what their relatives invented.
Okay.
Monty Don. He's a gardener, isn't he? Posh gardener.
Yeah. Had a stroke. Came back.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Monty Don. Posh. I'm guessing he invented...
So I'll tell you when it was invented. It was a long time ago, 1797.
Crikey Bobs.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Custard.
Ooh. Oh, I like custard.
Hot chocolate.
Close. Marmalade.
Oh, I like marmalade.
I don't like marmalade. I like a jam, but not a marmalade.
Why? Because of the bits? You can get it without bits.
No, it's just a taste. It's too bitter.
Yummy.
His family invented marmalade.
Really?
Yeah. Giles
Brandreth.
Giles Brandreth's great-great-grandfather. What did he invent? This is amazing.
Snazzy jumpers. Is that your stomach?
Yeah, hang on. He invented billboards.
Well, did he?
He invented billboards, yes.
Okay.
All right. Linda Ronstadt's dad. These are brilliant.
Right.
Linda Ronstadt, dad.
German fella.
She got Alzheimer's. She's got Parkinson's, I think. She's a fantastic singer.
Beautiful singer.
Stone Ponies, of course, were her backing band. They later went on to become the Eagles.
Did they?
Yes. One of her first hits was a cover of Mike Nesmith's Different Drum. Her dad...
Helmut.
I don't know what her dad's called. Her dad's called Lloyd Groff Copeman.
Right, okay.
Was a hugely successful inventor who made millions thanks to holding almost 700 patents. So it's a kitchen-based thing. These are some of his other inventions.
Right.
He devised an early form of the toaster, the grease gun, I don't know what that is, the first electric stove, and an early form of the microwave oven. But The really big earner was his most simple device, one used around the world. I have one of these.
What, like an ironing board or something?
It's like an ironing board. Small. This is incredible.
I don't know.
The flexible ice cube tray.
All right.
Linda Ronstadt's dad.
What, even the ones shaped like turtles? He did that?
Well, I don't think he did the turtle one, but...
I've got that. I put lime cordial in that, so it looks like actual green turtles.
Oh, I knew this one. I knew this one. I knew this one. Chris Martin's great-grandfather, Chris Martin of Coldplay, his great-grandfather, invented something.
The boring album. Oh, no, that was Chris Martin.
No.
Go on.
British Summertime.
Wow!
Isn't that funny?
I'm starting to think I'm descended from a family of losers.
Well... who's Jamie Lang? Do we know who Jamie Lang is?
Yeah, I know. Jamie Lang is someone from Made in Chelsea.
Okay. It's his great-great-grandfather.
It's where they get the money from, I dare say.
It's the great-great-grandfather. Flipping heck!
Invented sandwiches.
Very, very close.
What?
The digestive biscuit.
Oh, because he's from McVitie, isn't he? He's a McVitie...
One of Britain's most iconic biscuits... Digestives were invented in 1892 by Alexander Grant, a 22-year-old apprentice baker who just joined the biscuit-making giant that would become McVitie's.
Mm-hmm.
He was the great-great-grandfather of Jamie Lang, 28, the star of Channel 4's Made in Chelsea. In 1920, Robert McVitie died with no heirs, and Grant was made boss of the company.
Jammy so-and-so.
Grant's only son died a bachelor, and the money switched to the Lang family when the firm was inherited by Hector Lang. Flippin' heck.
Well, you know you're talking about Professor Green and his posh ex-wife.
Yes.
She's a Macintosh, as in sweeties.
As in coats?
No,
computers?
Macintosh.
What are the sweeties?
They're Roundtree Macintosh, do you remember them?
No. He won't know, he's a foreigner.
He's nodding.
Yes, because he's an idiot. Edward Norton.
Right. Oh, motorbikes or something.
What? He's an actor.
Yeah, but Norton make bikes, don't
Edward Norton's grandfather.
he? Yeah.
He invented the shopping mall.
Isn't that just a parade of shops?
That was not parade of shops. That's
Undercover.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're thinking of a high street.
Oh.
Two more. Alex Best. That's George Best's ex-wife.
Right.
That's a boring one. Her granddad invented tarmac. So, we go now.
We need it.
Well, Vincent Price's grandfather.
Oh. Vincent Price's grandfather invented the clothes peg.
Baking powder.
Baking powder?
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I'd love all of that. And do you notice a lot of the papers as well today have got the story that we broke yesterday, thanks to George, about Uri Geller being investigated by the CIA. Well, we broke that story. We had a world exclusive. Hang on a second. Yes, Dennis?
Good morning, I should say.
No, good evening.
The Roundtree people have been taken over by the Kraft Cheese Company.
Yes.
And they're shifting their works over to Poland.
Excellent.
There's some stats.
I look forward to cheaper chocolate.
No, it'd be worse chocolate. It's not made as good as the proper Roundtrees. They swore they were going to leave it here.
No, they've changed. Well, they've changed the. Haven't they changed the milk they use in it already?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But I still love it, and if anyone wants to send me some free stuff, I'll eat it.
But I wouldn't do it if I was you. You might find you bought something, give you the runs.
Well, I don't. Well, I
don't think that's.
No, I can assure you, those chocolate products will not give you the runs. Is it funny? We were talking to the fella earlier on about the mirtazapine. It saps your energy. I've not been to the gym since I've been on. I did one class since I've gone back on the mirtazapine. I was doing it 3 or 4 times a week, and I did one class and I was knackered in it, and I can't be bothered. I'll wake up tomorrow about 12. I need to leave at 1. I've got an interview, and then I've got to go and do Things Make You Laugh Out Loud, which will be fun. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. We did, what did we do last week? It was Dads Make You Laugh Out Loud. And
Yeah, because you showed me that video of the guy getting zapped by his kids repeatedly.
Which one was that?
When he was jump-starting the car or something.
Oh,
kept telling him not to start the engine when he had his hands in it.
There's another one as well where his kid, I say kid, he's a teenager, just keeps shooting his dad with a Nerf gun and has filmed it. And his dad would be doing something, "Oh, Alex! Alex!" And it's just constant.
Which, of course, is delicious to a
Oh,
kid.
it's so funny. It was a really good one, actually. But there's about 15 shots of this kid, and he films it on his phone. And his dad will be, like, doing the washing up. "Oh, Alex!" And he doesn't, like, go mental or anything. It's just, "Oh, Alex!" It's constant.
Like he's always doing it.
Very funny. That's it, dear listener. We are finished. We are done. It's been a busy old show this evening. Excellent detective work, Catherine Boyle.
I don't know. I'm going to narrow it down to a podcast. I'm going to do a bonus pod. And then
a bonus pod?
Yeah, and then squeeze everything
I'm
else
saying
in.
bonus.
Oh.
Which is appropriate. Bonus pod. We can be a little bit childish in the dying seconds of the show.
Yeah, you were very sensible for most of it.
Wasn't I? Wasn't I grown up?
Very restrained.
But I do need to go into a lift and shout obscenities. Don't forget, you can download the podcast, bonus and all, if you go to iTunes. If you get it from iTunes, be a sweetheart and leave a little review and click on the old 5-star thing.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. Back tonight at 10. Ta-ta.
Talk Radio. 24-hour radio debate and entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.